And welcome back to episode 135 of the Hit the Showers podcast, presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. As always, I am your host, Clifford Jordan Jennings, and my punk ass point man and co-host is busy. He'll be on later, so he says. We'll see. But we got my guys in the building. We got Q McLeod. What's happening with you?
And you know everything is everything, player.
I know that's right. Shit. And my guy, the dot connector, Aaron Spencer. What's going on?
Back again, man.
Back again. Shit. You been gone for a little bit.
Well, you know,
I've been gone. We was gone for a little bit. I ain't even gonna stunt you.
niggas got shit to do.
And I still feel like I'm firmly inside of my bout with COVID. Although the sick symptoms have gone away, I still feel like an elephant is sitting on my chest. And I feel like hot flash every so often.
Nigga been appalled.
But other than that, shit, something. Other than that, I can't complain, so I ain't going to. But it's not going to be a victory over COVID by knockout, I tell you that. We going to decision as we speak. I ain't going to be able to get the knockout. But we here to talk basketball. And I got a question for you. I just thought of it before we started, because one of the topics I do want to touch on at least a bit is the summer league that's currently going on. And right now at the top of the summer league is the Detroit Pistons, currently 2-0 unless they played again since this was yesterday evening. I pulled these stats.
I think they only play 4 games. Each team only plays 4 games, and there's some type of they changed how they do the summer league postseason. So
we got Brett.
Shouldn't step in. But they do the postseason different this year. It ain't like no real postseason. I think they only played like 4 games apiece.
So is there a playoffs then?
I don't know. I gotta look that up. They said it's gonna be different than last year. Like last year they had the summer league playoffs.
Right.
This year, each team gonna play like 4 games, and then they're gonna do something. I don't remember.
But we still gotta find out who wins.
Yeah, I didn't say that wasn't gonna happen. They're just not gonna do like a playoff structure. They might do like
a tournament, like a.
Nigga, I don't know.
I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense of a single elimination situation.
I'm pretty sure they trying some shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like they trying some shit out.
All I can say is the Pistons currently on top, and I figured as much. I really did figure as much, man, especially with the young cats that they drafted. They still got cats that ain't even coming back. Like if Cade Cunningham wanted to be ignorant, he could have came back into the summer league. There's no point in that. Especially when you got rookies this season that's getting pulled out after 2 games. That Paulo Blanchero dude, the Magic's benched him after the second. I don't think they said Chet's supposed to play past 2.
Yeah, I can see him shutting Chet down.
Especially he's so skinny.
He's real skinny. Like that nigga's dangerous skinny. Like.
Yeah, he's skinny like that. He's the number 1 player in the draft that worries me as far as injury goes. I mean, you know anybody, it can happen to anybody, but you know them big linky motherfuckers always fall. Even Evan Mobley fell. And I would say Evan Mobley, they probably similar in stature, but I would say Evan Mobley probably got a little bit more weight on him than Chet. So if you using him the way you plan on using him, does he last the full 82?
Summer league is one of them things where, you know what I'm saying, it's easy to shine.
Right.
So you kind of take too much from it, I think, sometimes. But they be honest, he's balling. Jabbar is doing this thing. Probably you said Paula had to sit his ass. So like he's too good. We gotta
I
sit
would
this
sit
nigga down.
Jabari as well.
Somebody else. Matt McClung been balling.
Yeah, Mac McClung has been doing his thing, but I feel like that's only because he is like he's the king of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Mac McClung's been bounced around from the G League to the league and back down.
He's
Then he
definitely been
came back
around for
to
a while.
the summer league. Like it's his opportunity to show I run this mid tier NBA shit.
I can see that.
Like we ain't talking about the league, but if we talking about summer league, G League, Mac McClung's your MVP.
Wiseman been looking good.
Wiseman has been looking great. And I know that the Warriors are sitting back. He was talking about fingers. Now they probably sitting back rubbing their hands because they was saying it like, just wait till he's healthy. Just wait till he's healthy. And I was even starting to question, like, is the nigga ever gonna be? And once again, we still got to see you pass the summer league as well because it's still just the summer league.
Yeah, it's still something league.
But Weissman's touched the floor before. Yeah, he's touched the floor before, so I'm sure he knows the speed of the game from a first-person standpoint. Whereas there's a lot of people in that summer league that are going to be shocked by how much the speed changes when you get into the real season.
Right.
But my question though, because right now you got what, at least the top of the summer league, you got the Pistons in 1, Jazz in 2, Raptors in 3, Clippers in 4, and the Heat in 5. And I already somewhat know the answer to the question, but do you feel like there's ever any correlation of how good a team will do based on their summer league performances?
No.
You said you don't think so ever.
I mean, the Bulls won the summer league a couple years back.
Right.
You know, it's like winning the AU championship. That's what's up.
But you don't, well, yeah, no, because at the same time, you're absolutely correct. Because we're in the era now where they're not even playing these boys through the whole summer league. Isn't that crazy to really think about, though? Like a team now will be scared to play their player a full 4-game stretch in the summer league. Like, I thought that was supposed to be where, you know what I mean, you shine, so to speak. Like, that's like your induction interview. You know what I'm saying? And to only do half of it is like, I get that people think that highly of you, so they want you to sit, but like, that's what I thought that was for. A good light game so we can see what you do. And now they don't even play the full that.
Well, I think they did like the first summer league game, didn't they? They played like the whole first game.
Yeah, the whole first game, the whole second game. But like you said, if it's only 4 games in the summer league,
yeah, for each team, yeah.
Why can't anybody play that full? Why can't you play the full 4?
Because we live in a scary generation. They do anything to prevent these kids from getting injured just so they can hop out there and get injured.
Right.
Did not know how to handle that shit.
I just don't understand it. Like, that shit's wild to me. And then you wonder why they are getting injured, and it's like, because you're babying them. You're babying them. When you stop people from playing games, then yeah, I can understand how one extra game could put somebody over the top to pop that tendon or tear that knee. You're not indoctrinated to the system. You don't, like back in the day when you play 75 to 82 games, and I only say 75 because some of those players really were hurt and, they did need time off. They didn't play a full 82. But when everybody was playing to make 82, you think your body wasn't used to that?
I mean, all the greats, most of the greats, had early injuries. Mike fucked his foot up for like a year and a half.
Right.
Steph Curry messed his ankle up early in his career. Not everybody has it, but like sometimes you end up being like Penny or something, and you have a great 5-year career.
Right.
Then boom, it happened. Derrick Rose, the most.
But at the same time, how many years Jordan played in the league?
13.
That's what I was about to say. 13, I believe.
He doesn't think it took a break. I need 2 years.
He did take a break in between. But I mean, there's other players that's done it as well. How many years did John Stockton play in the league?
John Stockton played in the league about 17 years.
Right, and he had that whole run of not missing any games. Like, he had a run years of not missing any games, and that's as a undersized point guard. I won't say undersized. Undersized.
Underestimated because, you got that whole white boy thing.
Right. But them motherfuckers was putting in work, and they wasn't talking about taking, breaks in between games.
Well, that was like a badge of honor for them. Nowadays, it's about who can stay on top the longest. And LeBron James has found out the formula of missing games and playing games and still being seen as the greatest.
But do you think that that's a LeBron formula, though?
Nope.
Who made it?
I put that on Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard he's a.
I don't think LeBron missed, and you got to think too. LeBron's later in his career too.
Right.
He wasn't doing that early on.
Right.
Nope.
I'll give him
So
that.
now it makes sense. I understand having to maybe kind of fake a few injuries now.
Right.
But later on, man, he wasn't doing that.
Right.
I feel like, and I don't even want to blame the players because I don't think it's them. I think it's the management. I think it's the, coaching staff, whoever it may be, that's making these decisions for them to keep them out of the game.
Right.
Like basically babying them, like they did Zion. I mean, he might have needed to sit out, but the way that they played him his rookie year, to me, it was, look at the results. He still ended up injured. And I feel like they did everything to prevent him from being injured.
That's what I think. I think that at some point that prevention is exactly what's causing the injuries.
I think it's the power of attraction. The law of attraction. I'm sorry. The law of attraction. Like, when it's kind of like if somebody tells you, don't think about something. And it's like, that's the first thing you think about.
Going. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, we don't want you to get injured. Now, only thing on their mind is not getting injured. And it's like, they're attracting it,
right,
being
right.
injured. Whereas back in the day, even if there were players that got injured, like you said, Jordan got injured early on, et cetera, but after that, we really didn't see him go down.
Right.
That wasn't the thought process of the people around him. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thought process was, we need you on the court.
Right.
And that's what the results were for most of the players. Like, you're on the court. It was like Grant Hill would be perfect for this generation. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way he gets injured and he was out for a while. Like,
right.
That wasn't common back then.
It wasn't, but man, Grant Hill had like 3-4 years where he was murdering motherfuckers.
He was great. And a lot of these athletes are good. Zion's a great player, but how much are we going to be able to see him play?
That's a him.
But people said the same thing about Joel Embiid, and he's been holding up strong since. I just feel like there has to be something said to the fact that it's across multiple sports. Like, we had the same conversation about football, where you talk about an era that was a lot more vicious, a lot more tough. And it's the same can be said about basketball is what I'm getting at. Those were eras where it was perfectly okay to throw a bow in the paint and you're not getting a foul called. That was just a hard play is what they called it.
You lost it too. Walk it off.
Right. And it has to be something said to the fact that even back then, those players didn't get injured like that.
I think they did get injured. That's the problem.
They did, but what I'm saying is when you look at now, compared to then, it doesn't equal. And it's like, what is it that we're doing now as medicine and science progresses that is stopping these players from being able to play a full game? Whereas back in the day, they didn't seem to have a problem with it and the game was tougher.
I get what you're saying. It's like a happy balance between
I just don't get it. Like, it's just odd to me because you would think that, and I do agree with you, Britt, that it has to be beyond player, like, you know, whether it's trainers or whatever the case may be. But you would think it's a lot of motherfuckers involved that want a paycheck, a bonus. And you don't get that without putting asses in seats. And asses don't fill seats if players don't play. And the more the NBA is making it a roll of a dice to where we're not even sure what games they're in and what games they're going to sit out, that makes people a little reluctant to want to drop that big money on those tickets.
Listen, now you know though. Shit, you know if the Lakers go play Sacramento, LeBron's probably not playing.
I wouldn't play LeBron. I wouldn't play them bums.
You know what I'm saying? He's probably not going to play. You know what I'm saying? And the people in Sacramento are like, I understand why he's not playing. You can probably get away with it there, but in other places, we used to do that shit in Atlanta, but now Atlanta's good, so they be
right. You need Atlanta to be.
But you know what though, Aaron? It's like a mix though, because sometimes even the games that you're looking forward to, and this is when they started finding people. I think it was like, all right, Warriors play the Cavs. But Bron's not playing, and I'm just using this as an example. Mm-hmm. But remember that they were like sitting out because it was like regular season games, but they were big games. They were sitting out.
Right.
Like, no, we want to see the stars play when they play these, you know, big teams instead of trying to wait until the playoffs to see that matchup. No, we want to see it now. We want to get a little, you know, they should be just as excited to play that game and show what they can do. But like I said, well, look who it is.
Look who it is, Mr. Moolah himself. What's going on?
Party people.
Nah, shit. You know, talking to injury talk, really. But you know what? It's interesting, right? And before we get any further, the fact that you just said that, Brick, it just dawned on me. Did you any of y'all hear about the NBA pushing for an in-season tournament?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be.
They were pushing for that past season.
Right.
Something to spice it up, right?
It's supposed to be a collective bargaining agreement at some point, right, with the players and the owners.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, the owners have like, I would say 51-50 on them. Like, you know, they 51-49.
I knew what you
Still
meant.
a little up. You know what I'm saying? They've been shit been going on. So I want to see. I'm like the tournament sounds like a good idea, but that sounds like a pacifier. Right? You're not really dealing with.
I know what you mean.
You're trying to throw some shit in there to make some shit look good. That shit ain't gonna work.
But I think that the whole reason not the whole reason, but one of the reasons that they are doing that is because of that exactly. Like, they need something to incentivize these inter-country games for everyone to play. You know, and if they come and do a tournament, like a in-season tournament, that guarantees that even Sacramento gets to see the best play in Sacramento. I think right now they're having issues with sweetening the pot. They said right now it's just $1 million to every player on the winning team plus potential incentives. And $1 million is a good, you know. It's a nice pot, regardless.
$1
Certain
mil per
players
player?
aren't gonna go for it.
$1 mil for who though?
Every player.
James Wiseman.
No,
Or
every
1 mil
player on
for-
the team, even the bench players get that.
No, I'm
mil.
just saying that's like an incentive for who? Like, if I'm Steph Curry, if I'm LeBron James, $1 million might not move me to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why. I can see why that potentially wouldn't, but at the same time, it's an in-season tournament, so it's not like they're adding any additional games. They're basically giving you the opportunity to make potentially more money throughout your season. Because you know how they break it up into games, how much you make per game. This player makes $987,000 per game, while this player gets 11.5. You know what I'm saying? So now the guy who gets 11.5 is like, bruh, I don't care if you trying to sit. We need to win these games for this in-season tournament, so I can get that extra mil in my pocket. We gotta win the games anyway. I think that in the long run, I think that it could help. I don't want to say does, but it could.
I mean,
I
it is.
think that- I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say. I mean, it incentivizes them to be a part of that, but what keeps them from load managing other games during the regular season?
Right.
I mean,
But
they just gonna find a way. Greg Popovich did it,
The NBA
And I
can still
mentioned
market it.
but I mentioned it to you before. They
Well,
played
why
Orlando
you
one
feel
night.
like- Oh, okay.
I was just saying they played Orlando one night, knowing you had the Heat the next night. Why not put your dogs against the Heat and see what they made of?
Right.
But nah, let's play Orlando and then put them on the plane to go back home. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that. I mean, it incentivizes players to play. Yes, it incentivizes other teams to make more money in their arenas, but it don't fix load management.
Well, I think that
Not permanent.
they're doing it for excitement. I feel like they are losing people's interest during the regular season, and I think that that's because of everything that's going on, because of the load management, because of injuries, random injuries. It's just like people are losing interest because they're not seeing. And then what we were talking about before, they might not even go hard until playoff time.
Right.
So these things are making people lose interest. Like, I don't want to watch the NBA because they're not going to go hard in the paint just because it's a regular season game.
Well, you know
You know
what?
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I agree. But I what I'll say on top of that is there was also gaps wide and far between the best teams in the league for a while. And I feel like now it is getting closer to even around the middle, you know, and that's why you're seeing the Eastern Conference get stronger, because you have teams coming up like Detroit, Cleveland, all them that's on everybody's heels. It pushes everybody to be better, right? Now it's eliminating how many games you have to claim that load management shit, because the more you do it, the lower you find yourself. Look at the Lakers. Lakers couldn't even make the playoffs this year because they were doing that so much that they thought they had time left.
Hell no, that was Russell. That was Russell.
You can't blame Russell on
Yes, you
that.
can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Anthony Davis.
You can blame Russell. He was
Yeah,
terrible.
Anthony Davis was Mr. Load Management.
Well, I'm saying,
No,
you
Anthony
know
Davis was
court,
actually
bro.
injured.
You're not even on
Yeah,
the
he was
court.
injured. He was
Was
injured.
Was he
Don't-
actually?
Come on, man.
Yeah,
Come
he was
on.
injured.
He was
Anthony Davis was
man.
injured. Anthony Davis was injured because, listen, Anthony Davis is ride or die for LeBron James. He's not going to leave him out there hanging. He's not that type of player.
Just did.
He-
I might have.
Huh?
I might.
He-
He said he
I'm
just
saying.
did.
I'm just
No,
saying, man.
listen, if he can
I'm
play-
not Ron Anthony Davis trained no more. I had to get off.
Listen, if AD can play, he's just injury prone. If AD can play, he's not going to let LeBron go out there by himself.
I agree with that though.
I think AD comes out different this season. I think that's why y'all hear these reports about him being in the gym like he's been. I think he finally hears the noise and he's tired of it. And I think has that chip on his shoulder. I'm not mad.
But
I'm not
you
mad
can't
at him. man.
change. You can't change a bad chin, so to speak. You know,
Mhm.
If you got
If
a
he can't
bad
take a
chin,
punch,
yeah,
is
if you
that
got
what
a
you
bad
said?
chin, you got a bad chin. You can work on everything you want to, but the bottom line is if you take that punch, it's over for you. And that's AD at the end of the day. You can work on
I'll
your
say this,
shots, all that. If we know you come down from a dunk wrong, it's over for your season.
I'll say that I trust Anthony Davis more than trying to get Kyrie. If
I was
you.
going to say that.
And
I
listen,
trust Anthony Davis to show up when he's ready. When he's ready to go, he gonna go. I'll give y'all that. When he's ready to go, he gonna go. But it's like, damn, nigga, you hurt still? Man, my ankle. All right. Maybe next game.
I can see where you're coming
Maybe
from.
next game.
I can see where you're coming from on that, but I honestly feel like, not to get into Lakerland, but there was a lot of mismanagement, the coaching was terrible. The fact that they let Russell just do his thing for so long, and I kind of understand that, but at the end of the day, his role was way too big. In order and he wasn't producing. So there was no way they were going to be able to succeed. And they never really kind of like took his power away like they were supposed to, like diminished his role. They gave him so many opportunities, and it was probably LeBron.
Maybe here's why, and I don't mean to cut you off, but there's a stat provided by Basketball 24/7 that says that Russell Westbrook has, out of everyone, has the most game tying or go ahead field goals in the final minute of a fourth quarter or overtime. He is sitting at number 1 with 53, Damian Lillard at 2 with 52, and LeBron and Kevin Durant at 3 with 51. So regardless, that stat says something. Like, I understand why they had the confidence in Russell, and I also understand why it's not working out. He's an off-road vehicle.
It's a great stat, but you have to really look at his stats in LA, right?
Right.
So whatever he was doing before didn't apply. In my opinion, it just didn't apply. I don't know what the deal was. It just, even though he's from LA, it just wasn't a good fit for him.
Right.
And he really brought the team down. And I mean, just like basketball IQ brought the team down.
He's an off-road vehicle on a Formula One team. That's what Russell Westbrook is in LA.
That's pretty extreme, but I feel
that's the truth, though. I'm not saying that off-road vehicles can't be technical, but you're good off-road. You need room to maneuver. This is a Formula One team. Right. You don't have room to maneuver. We're all out here on the track. And Russ doesn't know how to operate in that.
They replace him with Kyrie. They can
get a Formula One vehicle.
They can possibly get the job done. They need to do more. They need to have a better supporting cast. They can't just bring in Kyrie. But
I'm not gonna blame him on. I don't want to cut you off. I'm just saying this. How much do you trust Kyrie over do you trust Russell?
A lot more.
Okay.
A lot more.
My
intelligence wise. I mean, watching the Lakers play, I don't know. It's hard to like really catch games. You know what I'm saying? If it's not your team, you're not really catching the games every night.
Right.
But Russell single-handedly was losing games for them. And I don't even like to say that, but
putting them in losing positions.
I'll give you a perfect example, and I'm gonna make it quick because I don't want to take up too much time. But
good.
We went to the Lakers versus Thunder game, and it wasn't like the Thunder was like booming this year. You know that. Lakers versus Thunder.
They sneaky good though.
He had so many turnovers. Wasn't hitting. Who was on fire? Carmelo was on fire, right? It comes down to the last minute, he brings the ball down. He did two things. One time he brought last 2 minutes, he brings the ball down, misses a shot, takes this awkward long shot, misses it. Like, next time he brings the ball down, he turns the ball over. Now, here's my thing, and I think I reversed him. I think he came down one time, turned the ball over, and the other time, the last time he came down, he put up the shot.
For it.
Why are you putting up the shot? And Carmelo is hot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not hot right now. It's other people that are hitting shots. He didn't hit any, and there were so many mistakes throughout the game. Like it was hard to watch. He single-handedly lost them that game.
He's not the only one that makes those decisions, though, because we just had a conversation about this finals with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and I was saying if Al Horford is fucking 3 for 4 from 3, get him the fucking ball. And that's all you saw was Jaylen Brown trying to force a layup and Jason Tatum trying to force a 3 in somebody's face. It's like at some point we need to learn how to play team ball all together, because it shouldn't be hard. You get paid millions of dollars. It's not hard to recognize the fact that somebody on your team is hot. It's just not you.
Well, for a man it is, because a lot of times men play with their ego. So it gets in the way.
I agree with that.
And Russell played with his ego in the sense of like, I'm going to get this shit together. But it just never came
Russell
together.
Not listening
Right.
to shit.
That's a good way to
I can
put
see
it.
trying to tell Russell some real game. You're like, nah. Finna go out there and shoot. Pass the ball. Nah.
Hey,
I mean, but
Nigga, listen.
it's
But you know what though? The Lakers did what they were supposed to do, because I felt like because he was in a slump, if they would have been on his head, if they would have been on his ass about it and tried to like limit him, sit him down, I think it really would have put him in a slump. So they gave him free range. Like, listen, we're not going to put any pressure on you. Your position is good. You know, take charge like you're used to taking charge. He just wasn't able to produce. I feel like they gave him all the chances in the world. So with that being said, you have to take on the responsibility of like, listen, I'm the reason we lost a lot of games. He is the reason they lost a lot of games.
Accountability.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and it does make it very hard to argue that point.
Listen,
But
his role is he never said let's diminish my role some. You know what I'm saying?
But he wasn't leading. He was never. That's what's the ironic thing is he was never leading in turnovers. James Harden.
It doesn't
was.
matter if he's leading in turnovers if he's not making good basketball choices.
I just want to give this nigga.
But if you're not leading in turnovers, that means somebody else is making worse ones.
How many
Not
turnovers?
necessarily. Listen, a perfect example would be if we're playing flag football and you are 80 yards away from the end zone and you got 5 seconds left to throw the ball to tie the game, and your QB decides he wants to run, that's not a turnover.
Right.
But it's a bad decision.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he was making bad decisions.
Right.
How many turnovers you had for this year? I gotta ask y'all.
As a total?
I was actually.
How many total turnovers? No Googling, Malcolm.
No, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure on total turnovers because I was referring to a stat that came, I believe, it was around 60 games in. So it wasn't at the end of the season. I'm not about to say that. He may have passed everybody up towards the end of the season. But I remember the stats, and it was Harden, Westbrook.
295 times he turned the ball over this season.
I was gonna say.
Wait. You're saying, Cliff, you said he wasn't the leader this season?
No, that's what I was saying. Not at the end of the season. At the end of the season, I don't know how it all fell down.
Wait. So, but you're saying like in general in the league or just his team?
No, in the league.
Listen,
at
it
around
doesn't
the
matter
65 game
if
mark.
he's not leading the league.
But my whole thing was Steph Curry was high on that list. There was a lot of people high on that list, and my whole thing was they don't nobody talk about them and they turnovers.
Steph Curry
because listen,
way higher.
Listen, he's always had
but shot percentage don't got nothing to do with passing the ball.
Listen. He's always had.
So you got a great shot, no vision.
He's not a passing guard.
No, he's not.
I mean, Cliff. Everybody even Jordan had games that weren't his best. I mean, all the greats.
Right, of course.
So at the end of the day, can you sit at the big boy table or the big girl table? Because shout out to the women too. No,
I understand
Russ,
what you're saying.
Can't sit at the big boy table. Steph Curry's up there, feet up, back. That motherfucker, did y'all see him at the golf course? Patrick Mahomes. Give it to
Yeah.
He hit
come
that
on,
little
boy.
eagle.
Come on, boy. That
No, I
motherfucker-
understand. I understand completely what you're saying,
That's
but at
too
the
long
same
shot,
time,
baby.
you gotta have the same energy.
I
Well,
agree.
What do you mean? Who gotta have the same
if
energy?
you're
You
not
gotta have the same
producing,
energy
Cliff,
for some
I
turnovers.
feel like everybody has to have the same energy, and if that's the issue that we're
No,
getting on,
You're just touching on one subject, though. He
right?
doesn't lead. Okay, everybody else that you mentioned, give or take, James Harden, they are producing on the other end. You can't
Right.
be in the top 10% in
Hey.
turnovers and
Right.
not have the points.
Right,
to go
right,
with it.
right.
You
That's
can't be
the point
airball
to
and
be
then
made.
turn the ball over.
Right.
You can't
No.
airball then throw a steal.
Right.
Get on the court. Get
Right.
aggressive. Get him out.
That's
Yeah.
the point to be made. You are absolutely correct there.
He's not making up. I give you that, Cliff. If somebody, like Britt said, and Aaron, if somebody's making up for it in other categories, and especially getting a MVP in their fourth ring, when we
Right.
talk about it, first of all, Cliff, it's not even fair that you even would compare the two. I just want to actually say
Well,
that.
no, the whole
No.
point of me comparing is to basically let it be known that
F is
it's
a Paul.
clearly that's clearly a hard position to play. That point guard is a very tough position when you look at the best in that position, and they're still high on that list as well.
Well, is Russell even a point guard, or is he a two?
No, he's a point guard. Well, he has been historically a point guard, but I don't know what they got going on in the Lakers, and that's probably half the reason why he's
Absolutely
not
not.
succeeding.
Absolutely not. He has the Lakers is not the Lakers' fault what that man did this season. He was given all the opportunity in
Listen,
the world.
but
You
a
got
bad-
LeBron James backing you and allowing you
A
to
bad
continue to
program
have
is a
you-
bad program for you. I'm not saying the Lakers is a bad program, but that could very factually be a bad program for Russ, especially when you know LeBron wants to take the ball up the court, AD will take the ball up the court, and you the
Listen,
point guard, and you like, damn,
they
that's my only
gave
thing
Russell
I can do.
full range to
Yeah.
be Russell.
Yeah.
He was
knew
not
what it-
being dominated in any way by LeBron
No, I
James.
won't
knew
say
it was.
dominated, but I wouldn't also say that he had full range to be
He
Russell.
did. He had full range.
I don't think
Cliff, he got
If you were
starstruck.
watching the Lakers, he had
Cliff.
full range.
You think he got
Look at-
starstruck?
Cliff, look at all the markets besides Houston. Look at all the markets he played in. And no offense, even to Houston. What do y'all expect from Houston?
Right. No, I get.
Come to
I get
LA,
what you're
baby. You
saying.
can come to LA, baby. You got to shine like gold from the get go. I mean,
Right. Every
that's
game is looked at like playoffs.
right.
Yeah.
That's just part of the
Right.
You know, I'm not saying it's fair as a
No,
Lakers
I
fan.
understand. That's
I
a
would
good
like that
point.
pressure like. Okay, perfect example, y'all. Cliff, I remember you were very high. What? All right, chill out. Sorry. I remember, Cliff, you were very high on Lonzo Ball coming into the league. And
Yeah,
they ate him up. Y'all remember his rookie season, and that they
Still love
ate
me some
him
Lonzo.
I
up.
do too. He just wasn't good. He wasn't good there. Because as soon
No.
as he got sent to the Detroit or New Orleans, motherfuckers
did
was
all
like,
right.
"Oh shit."
He built
Bulls
it
wanted
this
him all
time.
of a sudden. Bulls
But you know
still
what?
call him their guy, and he hadn't played half the season.
But you know what, Cliff? You make a good point because we all talked about this many times in the past collectively. The Lakers have shipped away so much great talent, like today's great talent. I mean, the Ingrams, Kuzma's doing all right in Washington. You know, Randall did all right.
Well,
you know,
those players did good in LA because they came out in LA. They knew nothing else. We didn't get a chance to see how easy it was to play with Detroit because they don't have as many reporters and shit showing up to the games.
right.
They came into the fire immediately, so that's all they knew.
And you got to think for Russ, like y'all said, you're from LA and you're playing for the Lakers, who is a, high up or prestigious,
That's
franchise.
added. You're right. That's added pressure.
Remember they had like people, wasn't it like
Aaron Rodgers wouldn't do it. Aaron
Who?
Rodgers said, "I ain't coming to San Francisco. Fuck it. I'll stay in Green Bay."
That's a lot of pressure to play. KD never went to. Remember, they thought he was gonna go to Washington a couple years ago and play for his home. Nah, he ain't going to Washington.
Ain't no pressure in Washington.
Yeah, I don't think KD.
I think that I think like with Russ, I think that the issue is sometimes people get used to like losing or only going to a certain level. The last time Russ went on a run in the playoffs and it was like significant was when he was with OKC. Right before KD
Dame Lillard
left.
knocked him out with that half court 3-point shot. He wasn't the same
I
after
don't know what
that.
this is, but he made this.
Oh,
Niggas
I
don't
was thinking
sit
of
around like this.
when they went to the finals against the
bad.
Warriors.
Oh, you were thinking even earlier, yeah, with KD and them. Yeah, no, I was thinking when Dame fell into the crowd and had the infamous looking up at the camera shot.
But wasn't that just like the first round though?
No, that was
That was second
round, I believe. Yeah, that
He
was
never
second
made it to the
round.
finals.
So to
Please
me,
do
the
that.
furthest that he's made it was the finals, right? When he was with KD and them, and that was so long ago. But even like Draymond said it, like a lot of players are good in the regular season, but they're not built for the playoffs. Like this is a whole different game. This is a whole different beast. And
I think Russ is built for the playoffs, though.
I don't think he
I
is.
just think it's depending on what team. Because this is
I don't
what's
think he's
fucked
built for
up,
it.
right? This is what's fucked up, right? Is you think like everybody always follow me here, because I'm not saying that I agree with everything, but everybody always talking about how Chris Paul makes the team better. Meanwhile, you're Russell Westbrook and you did the same thing Chris Paul did in the same place you did it. Yeah, Chris Paul didn't get past the second round in OKC either.
You talking about the Thunder?
Yeah.
that was not the same team though.
But
No.
Chris Paul
Damn
also
near?
no, and he also
No.
made it to the playoffs with every team that he goes to. it
Chris
seems
Paul
like.
had Shea Gilgeous and all that. Russell got him on the ass end, but before he was Shea Gilgeous Alexander. The most Russ had was Steven, what's the big dude's name? Steven Adams?
Adams.
Russ
I
didn't
mean,
have much on that OKC team. Let's be real about that.
Wasn't
I feel like he had a little bit more than
You said who,
Chris
Mal?
did.
Cephalosha. See, I think
This
Russ.
nigga said
Yeah, that was the
Cephalosha.
first time, the first year that he got that Oscar Roberts where he averaged the triple-double that season. But
Okay.
but even Cephalosha, who is that? You feel what I'm saying? Like
Hey,
he
he
did
got
He's a great
He hit.
defensive player.
Right, and he could hit.
He was a
Oh,
great
no,
defensive
stop
player.
it.
Yeah,
Both
that
y'all
yeah.
stop it.
He was. Was he not?
He was, but that's
He
not
was a
enough.
great defensive player.
That's not
Yeah,
enough. But you
Cephalosha
think
made
about
a difference,
what
bro.
he did, and then you
Cephalosha
think
ain't
about
playing with
Chris
him
Paul
either.
coming in afterwards, and everybody praising Chris Paul, talking about how much better he makes every team he comes on. But meanwhile, you're Russell Westbrook. Like, wait a minute, I did the same thing with less. Why am I getting drugged through the mud and Chris Paul's getting praised, and he's been on a team with Devin Booker and couldn't get a chip twice?
Listen,
Well,
but does he
whoa,
make
whoa.
the team better?
No,
Go ahead.
I'm saying from a Russell Westbrook. If I was Russell, I would be thinking that exactly.
But Russ played with KD and was up. What was it?
But I get that. I get that. But KD left,
on now.
and Russ still kept them
Why did
relevant.
KD leave, Cliff?
Mm-hmm.
Because of
Because
Russell.
of Russ. You're right.
Paul Hogan
You're
and
right.
Russ.
Because of
I'm not
Russell.
saying that. I'm just saying
Look
if
this
I
way.
was Russ
You're a KD
thinking
fan
this
now.
way, you traded KD away. It was just Russ and KD really. In Ibaka, you traded Ibaka away. And then
You
Russ
forget
comes
James
in
Harden.
after everybody
You
else
forget
leaves.
James Harden now.
Because they ain't want to be there.
But
That's
I'm
why they
saying
traded him
James
away.
Harden was traded away and KD and them was still there. Russ and KD was still there.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
KD left first, didn't he?
No. James
No,
Harden
no,
left
Harden left first.
Then KD
Yeah.
left.
Well,
Yeah,
the year
Harden.
after James Harden, and then
Yeah.
KD.
But I'm saying, and
Yeah,
then
then-
after
yeah.
y'all leave, I'm still here showing my loyalty to a fuck ass team. Let's be honest. At the time, I'll say, and I'm still keeping y'all in the playoffs. I'm still breaking records, and everybody shitting on me. Now,
But
I'm not
the
saying he
question was
does
this.
not deserve to be shitted on.
Hold on,
I'm
the
just
question
saying that if I was Russ, I could understand him feeling
or
that way.
the statement was Chris Paul makes every team better that he goes to. We cannot say that about
Right.
Russell.
Well, that's what but
You're just talking about one particular team.
Russell didn't make Washington better. He didn't make Washington better.
He didn't make the Lakers better. He made the Lakers worse.
He
Right.
didn't make the Rockets better.
Right.
Yeah. Are we gonna dismiss the fact that there was one guy that recognized that this season?
What you mean?
The Lakers head coach, Frank Vogel.
Right. He
did
Y'all
a
don't remember?
terrible
Y'all
job.
don't remember in late January, early February when he was benching him in the fourth quarter?
He was
Consecutive
on a tough
games?
love.
He should have
Are we
been.
gonna dismiss that? He was
Uh-huh.
messing up. He's shooting
Right.
out. He's shooting out the side of the backboard, taking ignorant shots.
Right,
He was doing
You've
that all
been in the
season.
league. You've been in the league too long, bro, to be doing that.
right,
Right.
right.
You're
I
not
agree with
you're
that.
not an IQ point guard. You're a slasher. You're a
You're a,
put my shoulder up, tuck
Competition.
my head, and go to the rack.
you're a play developer is the issue, and that's that.
Nah, he's
not a play
developer. No,
He
he's
is
He's not a play
He's
developer. He's a scorer.
He's a scorer, bro.
Nah,
He's gonna
nah,
play-
'cause
he
even
a
more
scorer
than
without
he's
a jump
scorer,
shot.
He's
Going
going
in.
down as the best assist point guard in the league. That's what he's
Man.
going
That's
down as.
assist.
Regardless, that's what he's going down as.
Man.
Whether y'all want
That is not his title.
John
He's going down as that to who?
You can't-
well, right. But I'm saying averaging multiple assists, double doubles and assists per season hasn't been done other than by Russell Westbrook. Period. So what I'm saying is his
Wait.
number
You're talking
one.
about triple doubles. You're not talking about assists
Assist, right?
alone, though.
You're right. But what I'm saying is those assists always were more than those points scored. How many
Man, I need
times
to
was Russ
see-
just dropping 30?
Sip, I think you just
Nah,
gave
he
that man a
was.
title that is between you and him.
But I'm saying, you think he's more of a scorer than
Yes.
than assist?
Yes, he's
Yes.
a scorer.
Hell yeah. Let me pull
Yes,
up-
that's what he does. He
Why?
scores.
Because
That's
he
what
did.
they.
Why? Because he did in OKC.
Everywhere he goes, that's what he does. He scores.
Well,
Except for
he
LA.
didn't outscore Harden in Houston. He didn't outscore Beal in Washington. If he's not outscoring the scorer, he's not the scorer.
When you say outscore, are you talking about his average points
I'm
per game? Or
saying
you're
his
talking about
assists meant more to the team than him ever being the scorer on any team he's ever been on.
He
that's
averages.
not true. Nobody's picking him up for assists. They're
He
picking him
averages-
up because he's going to go out there day in and day out and score, unless he's with the Lakers, which he
Score
didn't
what?
So career wise,
21 and all that. That's enough.
he's averaged 8.
Yeah, that's a 20. He's done way more than 21.
Has done and consistently do is two different things. That's why Beal was the scorer on Washington, because he would consistently drop you high 20s to 30s. And that's why
Russ-
Harden was the scorer in Houston, because he
And
would
was going to
consistently give
consistently.
you 40
He's going to
in months.
consistently drop some points as well. Look at his points per. Look at his
Right,
average.
and I get that.
each
I'm
year.
not saying he doesn't drop points. I'm
The
just
only
saying,
place he didn't was in LA.
So you think that the Lakers brought Russell Westbrook on
To
for
score,
point
yes.
score?
Yes.
Hell yeah, they didn't bring him on for assists because
Yeah, they don't want him to
LeBron
assist.
is a slashing playmaker. LeBron is
Right,
an
and that's why I
assist
say
as well.
that's why I
You-
don't see the Lakers being the best place for Russ in the first place, because everybody and their mama's bringing the ball up the court.
Right.
No, they're
Everybody and
not.
their
They
mama.
let that man bring the ball up the court. I'm telling you, and maybe traditionally you're thinking LeBron James wants to bring the ball up the court. They were letting that man bring the ball up the court. They catered to him. Trust me,
They let
catered
him bring the ball up more than anybody else I've seen outside of a actual point guard like Derek Fisher and all that. But
They put complete faith in that guy to come down. This is what they wanted.
well, they
they
did that because
wanted
they
him to-
had to.
They wanted
You
him
brought
to.
him
They,
on for that with that crazy contract. You had to, because you
yeah,
can't.
they thought he was going to score, because you can't win a championship in this day and age if you don't have multiple people on your team bringing in 30 points come playoff time.
And you thought
So
Russ was
he-
going to be one of them.
Yeah, they were thinking like when
Y'all thought
when
Russ was going to be one of them?
Well,
LeBron, listen, when LeBron won with Kyrie, Look how many points Kyrie was putting
Right,
up.
but not.
They were expecting him to put up the same.
No,
Yes, they were. You don't think that?
No,
You don't think
knew that
they were
wasn't
expecting to get
possible.
25 points out of him per game in the playoffs?
No.
So what did you think? What were
Well,
they expecting?
they expected him to do something because that was supposed to be our
Right,
big
but there is no way they expected Russell Westbrook to be getting 25 points per game.
In the playoffs, crunch time, yes, they did.
I mean, at least
He's capable of putting up 40.
At least 15, at least.
Right, that now we're talking. Now we're
Listen,
at
Is
reasonable.
he capable of a 40 ball?
Yeah, but Britt, that's like
I don't know.
That's once every blue moon rather
When's
than
the last time he dropped a 40 ball?
Right,
OKC.
that's what I'm saying.
Not in LA.
OKC.
But, is he capable of putting up 35 points?
No, not right now. And not
Okay, before he got to LA, was he capable of putting up 35 points?
Not in Houston.
I think he did.
You don't- are
He
you-
did.
are
He
you
was.
He might
was.
have in Washington. I think
Washington.
I think he might have in
Listen,
Washington.
every team he's been on besides the Lakers, he is capable of putting up 35 points.
Yeah.
If you get 30 points, you don't even need 35 points. If you get 25 points from him, with LeBron James's 30 points in the if AD put up 20 points, that's what they wanted. They wanted them
You need
each
them
to
assists.
be able to be around somewhere.
The reason
In
why
that
they were
point.
fine with the potential 15 is because Russ will still give me 10 assists.
They not looking at that nigga to give assists.
Man, how wouldn't they be?
Sound like John Stockton. He is not. He's not giving assists like that.
How wouldn't, and you would be more confident that he would give you 35
Yes.
and 10 assists.
He should.
Yes.
He should.
Yes.
Cliff, I think Russ has turned into that guy you love to hate.
Don
You
out there.
know,
What's up,
he
Don?
can,
Go
because he
ahead.
can
No,
go
I'm
ahead.
always defending Russ. That's
No.
the thing.
This is where I'm getting at. He's that guy you love to hate though, because we know he can get buckets, right? And I think he's checking stats during the game. Oh man, I need to go get by 8 more rebounds,
Could
get my
be.
10. I need to go get by 9 more assists, get my 12. I'm starting to think that's what Russ is
Don
doing,
said
man.
they brought Westbrook in for defense, not for scoring. I
What
mean,
defense?
Who said that?
What defense?
I mean,
What are you talking about? Don,
What
what's his name?
defense?
Don.
Man, stop it.
Listen,
Stop it. Bring
Russ
that man in.
Russ isn't the worst defensive point guard.
They didn't bring him in for that.
Nah, I don't know if they bring him in for that alone.
But look, I agree with you on that. Russ, top 15. Easily. The top half. If you want somebody to guard your one, how about angry nigga that can't score?
Right.
Your ass right now.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is I
Give me
think
Chris
that
Paul.
That
Give me Chris
nigga's
Paul
bench for right now,
for
nigga.
defense.
Russ
But
got-
if he's that guy, why was he get benched in the fourth quarter?
because he
Like
because
Craig.
he keep turning the ball over.
I told you he off-road on a
man.
Formula One
But it-
team.
Don't make
That's
good
but-
decisions.
Hey, what I
make
say,
the
get it.
decision.
What I say all the time, I get it back. If he's so much of a
That-
defensive
that
player, you
sound-
gonna get it back.
That sound good.
Right.
Man, I don't believe in Russ. Never believed in Russ.
I mean, I ain't gonna say I
And
believe
Russ,
in him.
I don't trust.
I ain't gonna say
That's all
I
I'm
don't
saying.
I believe in him. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying
I
that
believe in him. I like him. I just need him to back away from the Lakers. Like I need him to separate from
the
LeBron.
Lakers ain't his
So-
squad.
He can just finish his legacy, please.
You like this man energy. His energy is great.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
doesn't translate to
He's
the best.
ideally the point guard I would want,
Yeah,
right?
Like, I want like
But
when you talk
skill
to me,
set
Man, are
is
you
not
serious?
the point
Yeah,
guard
You
I
mean
would
to tell
take.
me if you was picking a team right now, you gonna draft Russell?
No.
He's available, yes.
No.
He's available, yeah, I get him. Fuck that. Because at least he's gonna be that nigga in the locker room that's gonna be like, hey,
Well, no. That's not at all what I'm saying. Right now, in a league where the point guard is potentially the number one scoring position on the court at times, I can't have Russell Westbrook be my guy I draft or put, shit into. The only reason Russ went as high as he did at the time was because we were coming into that era with Derrick Rose in Memphis when motherfuckers was high flying and distributing the ball. Russ fell right into that category. So if you getting Derrick Rose, I want a Russell Westbrook. And it worked out when that era of basketball was popping. But now we're in that new era. And I hate to toot my own squad's horn, but I feel like Darius Garland is the aesthetic of this era's point guard. I can shoot, I can drive, I will distribute. It's everything. That's something that Russ does not have. I don't trust Russ inside of 15 feet or outside of 15 feet, maybe 20. But if it's not a mid-range pull-up, Russ shouldn't be shooting it. And it better be on the move if you're Russell Westbrook. I don't want to spot up mid-range.
And not even a mid-range. That motherfucker.
But that's all Russ is good at as far as shooting goes. And that's why people are dogging DeMar DeRozan right now, because they're saying you can't work outside in. You're a mid-range shooter and a dunker. And if somebody stops you from dunking, all you have left is that mid-range shooting, and you're not elite enough at that to do that. That's why people are eating DeMar right now. And that's Russ's game. That's an old school game. I'm not saying it's not effective. But if I'm drafting someone, I need you to be able to keep up with modern era ball.
But that's why you match DeRozan with a guy like Zach LaVine.
And it's not working though.
But no.
It's not working. With DeRozan and Zach is what I'm saying. I don't know if they don't like each other. No.
But when your team is not fully healthy
together, they play independently from each other.
Yeah. But when you don't have healthy point guards, you really can't.
No, you're right. You're right. Because without Caruso or Lonzo Ball, that's really going to be the mediator of the two.
Correct.
It doesn't look good. And you're absolutely right. When you get one of those two back, it's going to look perfect. But right now, it doesn't. What you about to say? Because I know that's your squad.
I'm going to be quiet. Y'all, that was an accurate assumption.
Okay.
I'm not going to say nothing. Y'all was right.
Okay. I just wanted to check.
Okay. All right. I ain't gonna bet. I ain't bashing the Bulls. I ain't bashing the Bulls.
No, I think the Bulls is on their way up too. It's just
you said enough. You want to say something else?
Nah. Unless you got something to say about your Bulls, who y'all got coming out this year? Because I ain't seen nobody but that little youngin with the singles in the headband. What's his name?
I don't know his name.
Damn, what is his name? He been balling out on your summer league team from game.
I'm more or less in August, September.
I mean, that's all you can be.
Yeah.
That's all you can be.
But it's like a G League. It's like a G League All-Star game.
Did y'all even get? Y'all got one pick
in the first round.
Period.
I don't know.
Let me see. I'll look it up.
Yeah, do that, please. Because I don't. Chicago didn't make a lot of moves on the draft.
Well, we didn't have to. Like, we have a team that's pretty. It's not the greatest, but you had a piece or two.
Right.
They got Dalen Terry.
That might be the dude with the singles.
Round 1, pick 18.
So with the singles.
Yeah, the dude with the singles and the headband. Is that him?
Yeah, they only had one pick.
Oh.
So
I think that's who I'm thinking of, though.
Well, we drafted the nigga with the singles with the
But is that gonna be enough to take? Because we see y'all chew shit up. Y'all had Kobe White out of North Carolina and did absolutely nothing with him, and you haven't heard anything from him. Nothing.
I wouldn't say it like that.
I would say this. I'm used to the program. It's not gonna be pretty. And we have what we have. We got 6. So
Y'all got 6?
we'll sit in the locker room and just watch y'all accumulate.
No disrespect to Kobe White, but I mean, what did you guys expect out of him? Because I didn't see amazingness when he was in college. So
I did.
I feel like he's right on course.
I did. Okay, so you are somewhat correct because when you bring in a Lonzo Ball and an Alex Caruso, it kind of bumps you down, even if you're Kobe White out of North Carolina. Like, you have no choice but to sit that one out. Now, the whole issue with that is you haven't gotten enough show to be able to try to lobby for a move because nobody cares about Kobe White anymore.
I don't think that's true. I think that he did his thing. I just think it wasn't like top notch.
I just think he's better than a third string point. But go ahead.
I feel like where they are playing him or played him this past season was fit for his abilities. I don't think that they shaded him in any way. I don't think that they try to push him to the forefront of ahead of people that he's not better than. I feel like he was right where he was supposed to be. I don't see anything truly amazing about him. I think he can be a good role player. I don't know if he's a star.
I mean, I think that's what we're all trying to figure out.
I don't think he's a star. I mean, even when he was at North Carolina, I never looked at him like a star. He was the best among his team, and it wasn't the greatest team.
No, it wasn't the greatest team. It wasn't the greatest team. But even still, I feel like it's... Well, no, I'm not. I can't even. I was about to say some blasphemy. I was about to say some blasphemy. I was about to say it was the difference between him going to the Bulls and Colin Sexton going to the Cavs. But that's blasphemous, though, because we talking about the guy that played 3-on-5 and brought the game to within, what was it, 5 points?
What, in the playing game?
In the, it wasn't a tournament. It wasn't a tournament. I think it was a regular season game. But all his team fouled out because they cleared the bench. And it was only him and 2 other players left. And they played the remainder of, I think it was like seconds left in the third and then the fourth quarter. But they played basically the whole quarter 3-on-5, and they almost won the game, and they were down 12 points before the team cleared the bench. So I say that to say Kobe White ain't doing that. I ain't seen Kobe White show me that much dog in him, but I do feel like if he would have went to a team that needed him immediately, he would be a lot further along in his career.
I'm going to disagree.
And you may be right.
I have not seen that spark in him. I haven't seen the ability to like really take over a game. Now, he can hit some shots. I'll give him that. But as far as like being able to really like...
I've never seen him do that in the NBA. I've seen him take over games in college.
He's done it against my Heat.
Has he?
He's taken it over and gave us a fit. He has flashes, but I mean, but if he has that it in him, why bring a Caruso and Alonzo?
Right. That's a good point.
You know, maybe
they ain't impressed.
Exactly, and maybe he needs to go to like a Sacramento and be De'Aaron's backup or something. You know what I mean? Sacramento seems like the destination to go right now.
They got Davion Mitchell. Sacramento sitting strong at point guards too.
I don't know. You kind of seem like you didn't like Davion a little bit.
No, I like Davion. I'm not sure if I still have the same belief in De'Aaron.
Ah.
Yeah, I feel like De'Aaron's time has kind of dwindled out, and it's like, well, clearly he couldn't lead it. What are we doing now? Are we going to continue allowing him to, or are we going to give it to a Davion or something like that? Because De'Aaron's had his time. And I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying it's like, make something happen. Make something happen. Haven't seen it. And if we're in an era where Trae Young can step up and take the Hawks like that, then what happened? Even Colin Sexton in his same, draft class, you averaging 24.5 and 4 assists and so and so. Why? Where are you at? You know what I mean? And I don't mean same draft class because De'Aaron came 2 years before Colin. But you know what I'm saying? That same area. The game was the same. That's why they drafted him, because they like you.
Well, I mean, maybe that's why they kind of bringing all those pieces over there as well. Give them that last opportunity. I mean, I haven't seen much of Davion.
I liked him in Baylor. And I've seen him a little bit in highlights, like in the NBA, that impressed me.
He has potential, Davion Mitchell.
Right. Don't know if he could run the team himself yet. I will say that. And De'Aaron has at least proved that to you. But what's going to get you over the hump is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You got Sabonis. You brought Sabonis and all them over there. So now what's going to get you over the hump?
It's Sacramento, man. You can't expect too much.
But listen, Sacramento, back when they had Stojakovic.
Not Stojakovic.
Peja. That is his name, right? Peja Stojakovic.
No, she's just saying like
you went back.
All them. Chris Webber, Jason Williams, all them.
Yeah, a team of. You know what? I'm happy you brought that up. They're right where they belong. They're doing the same thing they did before. A team that's not going to get a championship, they'll be decent. So they're right on pace. Keep drafting how you draft.
Exactly why I said what I said.
Well, what's gonna get you over the top? That's what.
And that's not
nothing.
Maybe 40 years from now, they might get a ring. That's one of those teams that just they're content with what they have. They do. I've never seen them try to get into the race of like we're going to be the top team in the league. Right. I've never seen it.
They're like thieves. Like, we gonna steal it. You know what I'm saying? Like, right when they think they gonna underestimate us, and then we gonna steal it from them. That's what I don't mean it like thieves. That is a kind of fucked up way to. But you steal a season. You'll steal the season. That's the only way you really get to win. But you don't stand out all the way through.
Yeah, I would hate to like be drafted there or something.
I don't know. I mean, there's worse places to be drafted than Sacramento.
I mean, it just depends on your mentality. Like, if you want to win, I would hate to be drafted there. It's not going to happen. I would want a ring if I were playing. So that wouldn't be where I would want to go.
But you also got to think about it from the standpoint that most good teams don't get high draft picks. So if you do get drafted to a spot that has an opportunity of winning, chances are you went second, third round, which means you're that much easier to cut off.
I mean, I understand that, but I still would want something around me like where there's some potential. So, for example, I mean, it's not happening this year, but New Orleans might get there one day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
New Orleans might already be there.
I gotta see over the past like 15 years or so. I gotta see some progress in the sense of like wanting to win. The
Right.
Warriors are a good example of that, showing like, okay, we're building a team to win. They draft great, and that's the goal. And I just feel like they're not on that page. So me personally, I would not want to go. I would not want to be drafted by them.
To Sacramento.
No, I'd have to pull a Kobe.
Hmm.
Go ahead and trade me up, please. Trade me to somebody because I'm not going to play there.
Right.
Kind of like a Detroit. You know, you kind of see Detroit on
Right.
the rise with
Bubbling,
what they're
man.
doing with a bunch of young guys. You know,
They
Right.
bubbling.
that kind of concept. Same
Detroit
as
is
New
where
Orleans.
you want to go.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, Houston ain't too far.
And they had a worse record in the league. Didn't
Yeah. That's why I can't put Houston there yet. Because
They ain't too far. Watch what
like
I tell you.
Detroit was 3 wins only almost 30 some odd games into the season. And then my boy Cade, who I was preaching all season long, came into the lineup and did his thing.
Man, that's that guy. That's that
Same.
guy. And you got Jaden Ivey now too.
Yeah, you see the pieces working.
Yeah, you gotta-
And you got
Houston-
Marvin Bagley from Sacramento.
Exactly. And Houston, they got promise, but you don't see the pieces working like a Detroit where you can say, oh man, they're gonna be a
'Cause
playoff
'cause
team, and if they
Houston-
make it,
Houston's so
Well-
young and so green that they don't even know that they have the pieces now. They ain't playing them right. I'm telling you, they're not playing them right.
That wouldn't. But see, even with like Houston, when I make a statement like I wouldn't want to play for a particular team, I'm just basing it off of my lifetime and what I've seen them do.
Right.
I've seen Houston have good runs, so it's like I know there's potential there to possibly get to where you needed to be because, shoot, when they went against when they had Chris Paul, and he got injured, they could have taken out the Warriors, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They were like one step away from taking out the Warriors if Chris Paul wouldn't have got injured.
Wait, wasn't it reversed? I thought it was Harden that was injured.
No, it was Chris Paul.
no, it's Chris Paul.
Chris Paul got injured, and they had man. I remember that game. They had a chance. It came down to game 7.
Yeah, it was came down to a game 7.
Game 7. Chris Paul
Wow.
got injured maybe game 6.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
And that would have been
You're right.
no, go ahead. That would have been a fun finals to see them go against the Cavs.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna beat. I knew he was gonna beat them. So I wanted them to win so bad. I'm like, listen, if LeBron James see James Harden in the finals, it's a wrap. I'm like, the Warriors, that's gonna be a harder team to beat.
Mm-hmm.
But if he see if he see James Harden, it's a wrap.
Mm.
But like I said, I see potential in them at certain points. Even if you go back to like Akeem Olajuwon, I've seen moments of greatness. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
in my lifetime.
Yeah,
That's
right.
why I'm basing it off
understand
my
what you're
lifetime.
saying. Shit, they even brought Yao Ming in there.
Yeah, so
Go help.
when he had Tracy McGrady. I mean,
go
like
help out Tracy.
you seen them trying to line things up. I
Right.
just feel like with Sacramento, I just never really seen that true push that I would need to feel comfortable. Like, this is my team. They nice. Like, no, they're
Mhm.
okay.
Right.
I feel that.
Shit, speaking of the Warriors, they just announced that they are not willing to trade Jordan Poole, Jonathan Kuminga, James Wiseman, or
Kevin Looney.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they won a championship and they know they're going to get them with them.
I don't know.
They don't need no freaking KD.
They don't need KD.
No, they don't need
Come on,
KD.
man.
As a matter of fact, they're on their way back to the
You
championship.
think?
You think?
I don't know.
Man,
Yes.
with the core that's there, you don't think that they're gonna get better with
Who
the,
did they
with
lose?
the young guys
Gary
on the
Payton
team?
Jr.?
That's it.
Yeah, that's all they really lost. Yeah, no, they do
That's
get
it.
better with Weissman out there.
Exactly.
That's a
And
fact.
he looked good in summer league, so I'm happy for the brother.
No, I'm happy for
I'm
him for a fact.
I'm happy
They
for the
know
brother,
what they're
man.
For a
doing.
fact, but it's still
Yes.
summer league.
They gonna be all right. Trust me, they gonna be all right. They know they gonna be all right. They gonna be right back in the finals.
So where KD going then?
If he goes anywhere, no telling. It's hard to say right now. If I don't even know if he's going to go anywhere because it's not like his contract is up. They might keep his ass. Just because he say he wanted to trade, don't mean they getting ready to give it to you. Because my thing is, first of all, I would just, if I was the owner, I'd be like, no, nigga, like, no, I'm not trading you.
Right.
This is not you're not somebody I trade. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a top 5 player in the league. What am I going to get for you?
Right.
Am I trading you for LeBron? Like, who am I getting for you? Is Steph Curry coming over? And I'll tell him, like, listen, you can go out and work out whatever deal you want, you and your agent. I'll agree to it. But it needs to be a top 5 player that I'm replacing you.
Right.
I'm not going to trade you for some draft picks. Not trading you for Alonzo Ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need a top 5 player to replace you. Let me know what you come up with. That's what I'll tell him.
But see, that's where if KD really means what he says as far as wanting to trade, you could potentially have him, and I'm not saying he's going to do it, but that's where you kind of worry about once it gets closer to training camp where KD might give you a call like, I told you I want to trade. Like, I ain't showing up. If he really mean what he says, that's what I mean. You know what I mean? But
that's
if I see him going, now go ahead.
I'm saying that's money in our pocket as a GM.
Yeah.
You don't show up to your job, I don't have to pay you. And I'm still not trading you. And the only reason I'm saying that is as a GM, if I can't get something that I think is equivalent to you, then it's out of the question.
Right.
And it's not even like I'm trying to be harsh, but I'm not going to trade away a top 5 player and get nothing in return or get something for 5 years from now. Like,
but
no,
the good thing I will say, though, and this is just me playing devil's advocate for the Brooklyn Nets, the good thing is they have done very well in the other moves that they have made. So if you do take the KD trade for something a little less than that year with some first rounds on top of it, that could put you at the top of the top, depending on how that plays out. And we already know that Wembanyama dude is coming out next year too. So you want to get in the lottery. You want to get as many picks in that lottery that you can. And right now, Brooklyn been collecting shit.
I also think that, I mean, me personally, I feel like if you get a top 5 player, I can't play for the future. I'm playing for right now. And I feel like Brooklyn built that team with the intentions of playing for right now, putting everything in place to win now. Mm-hmm. So I would have to switch out of that mindset, which I wouldn't be willing to do, to be willing to give up KD. Because if you lose KD, you're going to lose a lot. And I don't see anybody else staying if KD goes.
Well, see, that's my whole thing about it. Is you ran off all 3 of your big 3, so-called. What is it, right? What is it? Because at some point you can't say it's Kyrie being the diva if you got KD, James Harden, and Kyrie all like, nah, I just went out. I went out.
Bad chemistry, bad coaching, according to them. Was it Steve Nash is not a good coach? Or I'm not going to say Steve Nash is not a good coach. He's not the coach for them. He's not the coach for them. I think they've made that painfully clear. He's not the coach for them. And it's just not it was bad chemistry. You know what I'm saying? Like, too much going on, and it's probably not that they don't like each other. It just wasn't a good fit.
It's clearly not that, because KD said he wouldn't be against teaming back up with Kyrie or James Harden, just not under those circumstances. Philly was on one of his still is on one of his destinations for trade.
That would be crazy. I actually would like that.
But
that would be
what else do you have after you get a KD? You have no bench. Tobias Harris is out of there.
I don't know. It's hard to say. That's why I say, it gets tricky with KD wanting that. To be honest, I think that he'll end up staying because they're probably not going to release him. Kyrie will end up staying, and they'll just have to play with what they got, make the best of what they got until their contracts are up, or at least for another year. And
Ben Simmons comes back. I think that's still a dangerous squad.
It's not even about, to me, that particular team it's all mental right there. I don't know what we're going to get out of Ben Simmons. That is a wild card. And he's playing with some people. He demonstrates not being the toughest person mentally.
Right.
He's playing with some people where he's going to need to be tough mentally.
Right.
Kyrie's not going to spare his feelings.
Right.
KD's not going to spare his feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if he's not doing what he's supposed to do, it can really break him. Like,
you are absolutely
like Jordan
correct
broke,
about that.
Kwame Brown. Like,
right.
I can see that happening.
Right.
So he's going to have to, be up to par.
Yeah, it is a problem within the organization, though. I know you guys did you guys see where Cam Thomas in the Summer League was asked about, Steve Nash saying, he needed to look for guys more and stuff, kind of critiquing his game on the court, and he rolled his eyes and was like, it is what it is?
No.
Cam Thomas did that?
Yes, he did.
Well, again, it's already been shown that if your top players don't respect you, what do you think the young players are going to do? The top players have already kind of mentioned not really respecting Steve Nash as a coach. The other young players are just going to fall in line with that. That's why it's very important that whoever's coaching that team have the respect of KD and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I could tell you at least how I think happened, and I think they brought Steve Nash in, and you remember there was that whole controversy around that about all these other people that were more,
qualified.
Yeah, but they selected Steve Nash, and I think he came in there with the attitude that I'm going to prove that I'm worth the fact they selected me over these other people, and you overexerted yourself. You inserted yourself into the situation, and you didn't need for it to be with the players that you had on there. You had to let that come together organically and manage the situation as opposed to try to control what they have going on.
And you had guys like KD and Kyrie saying we don't need a coach when he was brought in.
I'm just saying, you the type of guy that you having team dinners at your house. That lets me know that you're trying to you're trying to. I'm trying to find the right word for it, but it's almost like a substitute, and you're trying to change around the room. You know what I mean? Like, you're changing the room. Like, we're comfortable here, and you're trying to change what shouldn't be changed. And I'm not saying that him as he was the head coach. He has the authority to change the room, but why would you with the players that you got brought in? You kind of got to sit back and see what happens before you choose to do any of that.
I think, and I don't know enough, but you got to be careful when you do the whole player coach thing, because just because somebody was a great player doesn't mean that they're a great coach. And you got to also look at it too, like they may not, I don't know, like they may be a little too laid back for certain things. And I kind of get that feel from Steve Nash, like very laid back. You know what I'm saying? Like he seems like he's not bothered by a lot. And with that being said, he might not be pressed about certain things that he should be pressed about as a coach. That's why they say we don't need a coach. Like, because he does not have that intensity of a coach. Like, it's kind of like, whatever. So-and-so didn't come to practice today. Okay,
and that's where
don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's the opposite.
Why would they say we don't need a coach? They basically are saying, like, his presence is irrelevant. Like, there is no presence. That's how I took it. You guys tell me how you took it, because that's how I took it. Like,
I mean, that's where experience comes into play. You're talking about a guy who's, in the top of point guards, in the history of the NBA. But what coaching experience does he have? You haven't dealt with those. You've been on the other side, but you ain't been on this side. You got to earn that respect. You were known as an offensive team on every team you played, on the teams you played for. You were an offensive player. You were dishing it and scoring. But as a coach, you need to be able to separate that. You got to coach egos. You got to coach attitudes, personalities. It's just not. You're just. You know what I'm saying? And these guys are making millions. They could give you the middle finger, go home for the day, and come back tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with more than just a Dirk. Hey, I'm gonna give you the ball. I'm gonna set you up.
We need Whoopi. We need Eddie to come back out on the court.
They probably will respect Eddie, Whoopi more than they respect Steve.
Bring him out. Bring her out.
Cause she gonna listen. One thing about Whoopi, she gonna be passionate. If she take on the drive, she'll be passionate about it. That's something I feel like Steve.
She grabbed the young man by his ear out of the
game
basketball hoop.
I used to watch that movie all the time when I was a kid.
I loved Eddie.
I had a little crush on Rick Fox, so I was like, rewinding it.
Oh, curly haired ass nigga.
I kept rewinding it for Rick Fox. But yeah, I think that I feel like the change really, if they end up having to keep the same team, I think they need to bring in a more experienced coach, even if it's not. They got to bring in a different coach. Period. Point blank. They got to give a whole new feel to the team. I wanted them to hire Mark Jackson, but for whatever reason, he just cannot get the job. But I feel like he would have been a better fit for them.
This is a Brad Stevens Ime Udoka situation right here. That's how I'm looking at it, because it's the same team. Ime got the same team, and look what he did 1 year. He got the respect. You see him on the sideline. He passionate. He getting into people. He saying, he controlling the game. He controlling the players. He working the officials. He doing his thing.
All right.
What you seen Nash do? Walk around like this.
Right. Yeah.
He just switching
fingers across his mouth.
Yeah. Side as it.
Nash is very. You gotta understand too. He at this point he's living a very catered life. I'm telling you, like he's not even like. His worries are so minimal, and to have to like take on this role and be so involved in other people's lives, I don't think it's a good fit for him. Like, I don't think he knows how to do it. I don't think it's something that I just don't think it's going to work. The level of involvement that he has to have for other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has to deal with their egos. I don't think that's part of his personality, to deal with people's egos. Like, especially at this point in his life.
Yeah, he didn't really have an ego team.
I'm sure there were egos when
closest
he was
you could say playing. Was what, Amari Stoudemire.
But I'm just saying, like, I'm sure that there were egos when he was playing, but he didn't have to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, What you gonna? What
I
type
think
of
he got
ego
lucky
you gonna have?
even there. Like, he played with Shaq. He played with Leandro Barbosa. Like, he played with, like, even big Shaq Diesel. That's not like an ego. That's not like a player that I'm like, maybe back in the Magic when he first came out, you might have to deal with Shaq's ego, but he wasn't the ego guy.
Right.
Shaq
Well, I ain't
wasn't.
gonna say that.
He didn't have to. He didn't have to deal with
Maybe
that.
not at that particular
Right. That's
point.
what. Right.
But I think that everybody in the NBA has an ego.
Sean Marion, with an ugly ass shot like that, you can't have an ego.
Man, listen, you don't make it to that level. It's not too many guys that make it to that level and don't have an
Right.
ego.
You're right.
Oh,
Like-
shit.
But he's bringing the ball down, so it's like
That nigga's ball revolved. It didn't even spin.
It's
It
an
was like
ugly shot. It is an ugly shot. It's
his
ugly.
hands
Like-
crossed after he shot the
Chest.
ball.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Shoulders went higher than his head.
Right.
Yeah, shoot it. Yeah, shoot it.
That motherfucker, you thought every pass was an alley-oop towards the rim.
Oh,
All right,
man.
I'm done. I'm
He
sorry.
hit him though. He hit him though.
He hit a few of them.
he was a good player.
Nah, he was a good player. But now that's one you say, nah, I got him for the defense.
Mm.
And when he'll drive from time to time. But we didn't get him for that shot. We didn't know. The first time he shot, I bet they was like, we didn't know he had that in him. We didn't know he...
Prized up.
He practiced that, coach.
Right.
Do
Fuck.
it again.
But I did want to point out, I only got a couple things before we wrap up here. I wanted to point out, well, first and foremost, I'm upset, right? Because my Cleveland Cavaliers have been in talk with the Utah Jazz. And that's for Colin Sexton. Like, they're trying to get rid of Colin. They're not trying to get rid of him. What they're trying to do from an internal standpoint is they're trying to shop Colin around to show him he's not worth what they're trying to pay him, and they're trying to lowball him. That's what they really trying to do. Let's
Think
be
so?
honest. Yeah, that's exactly. And it's not that they're trying to low. I'm just being, crucial of my team. But that's what's happening. But the fact that he was hurt is the reason you're trying to release him to free agency to show him it's not a lot of teams that want you, bruh.
Nah, I told you it was a possibility that would happen.
I knew it was
I
going to
told
come to
you.
this.
It was some pimp shit.
You gotta clear up some
I'm trying to
space.
show you
because-
ain't pretty. Look, you ain't pretty.
You
I told Cliff, boy, I said, hey, don't be
Nah.
surprised. If
But
the
they trying to
Cavs-
they trying to trade my nigga for Mike Conley. Are you fucking serious?
No.
First of all, we
No.
don't
Who
need a
does
point
Mike
guard.
Conley?
First of all, we don't
No.
need a point guard. That's first. Second of all, there's not a player on the Utah Jazz that averages what Colin Sexton averages in points. We just gonna give up that scoring for a Mike Conley in a draft pick?
Let me tell you what they're trying to do, Cliff. I already told you this. You don't believe it. They are trying to make room for LeBron James next year. Okay? He's coming home. He's coming home.
You know what?
And they are trying to tell this nigga, like, listen,
I'll be furious.
I can trade you now, or you can go and wait it out
I'll
until
be
LeBron
furious.
get here.
I'll be furious.
You gonna
But
be mad. You
to
gonna be mad.
I would be furious.
I can't wait till that ESPN magazine drop and he says, I'm going back home.
But to add to your point, though, of that, Adam Scheffner just announced that he's trying to have it back to the 18 years to get into the NBA by 23-24 season. So no more 1 year of college, no more 1 year of G League. If you're eligible at the age of 18, you can come there. And LeBron already said, whoever gets Bronny gets me. So that means even if Bronny's not good enough to go out of high school, he still goes because we need LeBron and Bronny.
Did LeBron say that?
Yeah.
That I thought he said he wanted to play with him.
He said at that point, money's not an issue. I'm playing my last season with my son.
Oh, that'd be so sweet. I'm going to get me some season tickets right before he announces that he's going home.
I would be upset. I mean, it would be a good, but I would be upset that you just playing with my team like that. Don't just come back and fuck my Cavs up.
You mean the man that got your team a ring?
I don't care nothing about that ring.
Might get you another ring?
What? You don't care about that ring?
I don't care nothing about that ring. Because I feel like
this is what Kyrie was talking about. Like all I did for Cleveland and y'all niggas.
Yeah. Well, I'm the guy because I feel like that was the devil's money. That was the devil's money. You got rid of the team to get your ring. Keep my team together. Right now, I don't want. Keep my team together. Is what I'm saying. There's going
to be a couple pieces missing.
Now I'm fine. There's a couple pieces I'm willing to get rid of. But keep my team together and don't just bring in LeBron and get rid of everybody and you're on your way.
Get rid of everybody because listen, when LeBron's contract is going to be up, right. So he can honestly go there and take less money to make it work. I don't think he would go there with the intention of clearing out the team. I think he would go there with the intention of I can win with them, and he would do what he would have. He would take the contract that he has because he's on his way out. You know what I'm saying? If he goes back to Cleveland, he's retiring from Cleveland. Right. He's going to be there. I can't see him playing an additional 5 more years with Cleveland.
But I also don't think Cleveland would be bad enough to where they would be high enough to get Bronny. Bronny's top 20.
He's dropped. So? He's dropped since. No, he's dropped.
No, he actually
dropped out of the top 20.
No, he's
he
right now he's 31 at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, he was never in the top 20. The issue is what I'm saying is at his progression, and then this being his senior year where he doesn't have what's the Drake's girlfriend's son and all that. They're not on the team anymore. So now it's all Bronny to lead that team. He's going to jump from 31 into that top 20 in his senior year. I guarantee you that.
I can see him landing in a Sharif O'Neal position where he's not getting looks, but kind of like the Lakers, they called him up and asked him for an invite. Now he's on the summer league team, and he's showing what he got. I can see that falling more into that more than upping his stock and getting into the draft.
He'd be better off just falling off completely and letting Cleveland just go ahead and put him on the team.
Who, Bronny?
Yeah, just walk on.
Yeah,
be a walk on.
Walk on.
Yeah, get the invite. Show your stuff.
I think he's gonna be a lot better than motherfuckers is putting on him at the moment.
No, I don't think he's a bad player or anything like that. It's just like, first and foremost, he just has a ridiculous standard put on him being LeBron's son. You know what I'm saying? So when you're coming out of someone's shadows that is that big, the expectations for some people are unrealistic.
Right.
But, he is a decent player. It's just a matter of, like, how good is he going to be? And he's so young too. Like, he has players change all the time. They level up. It's something that's in you that makes you be like, you know what? I'm getting ready to step my game.
How much time do you have if you know that the commissioner just announced he'd be willing to allow 18-year-olds? If I'm Bronny and I'm thinking this is my senior year, I have the opportunity to be the first. Now the pressure's that much higher.
I don't think the pressure is that much higher because you're only looking at it in the sense of LeBron. The only goal for LeBron at this point, he probably wants one more ring, but he wants to play with his son.
Right.
He can make that happen. So he has years still in him. He can come off the bench and make that happen. He didn't say he has to be the starter when he plays with his son. He just said he wants to play with his son. So with that being said, the amount of time that we're putting on it may not necessarily be true. Bron might have another 5 years playing in the league. So that's all time that will benefit Bronny. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not willing to stand against that by no means. I mean, I do think it's possible for him to do that. But I also think that affects his legacy in a way. If you're just willing to sit around as a bench player until.
I don't think he's going to sit around. He's going to kind of be like he can be a role player, kind of like Carmelo. Like, you know what I'm saying? His role for the team can diminish.
I get it.
Especially if he goes to the Cavs. No, I ain't going to say no offense, but the Cavs are a good team. They don't need a lot. So to have somebody like LeBron coming off the bench, that would help them out tremendously.
No, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree with that if he was willing to just come.
Now, listen, his first year, when he get there next year, he's not coming off the bench. But eventually, he might have to come off the bench. And he will do that so he can play with his son.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about a guy who just averaged 30.3 points last season.
No, you're right. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing about that.
That boy ain't slowing down, man. You gonna get your production out that boy, man. LeBron is a machine.
You gonna start doing that shit where you going towards the basket, turn around and pass to somebody else.
the wrestle, what Russell should be doing.
I think Bron got about 4 more years in him. 4 to 5 more years. 4 to 5.
Man, she said Obama 4 more years.
You see him retiring before 4 years?
I think he got 3.
I think he's gonna try and make it a 40 at least.
I think
4 or 5 more years. I think he got 4 or 5 more years.
I think as we speak to this is Bronny's senior year.
Yeah, coming up.
Yeah. 4 years at max, because that would be 2 years to play with him if they don't pass the 18-year rule. So I mean,
Bronny can still go the ignite route, right?
Yeah.
Right, but he would still have to spend the same time with the Ignite that he would have spent with his college team. So
okay, so he would still have to do a year.
Right. So either way, he would have 2 years. If LeBron played 4 more, he would have 2 years with him. If they didn't allow him to come out as a senior or whatever. If that happens, then I think you may be right, Brett. I think that LeBron would be more willing to stick around now that my son's already here, as opposed to waiting to see if he will get.
He'll make it.
Oh, I don't have a question about that. I think, listen, if AD's still toughing it out, LeBron gonna make it. Most he get is a high ankle sprain. That nigga AD, he got.
No, LeBron gets a lot of groin injuries now too.
I have seen that, huh?
Yeah.
You are right. I have seen that.
So we gotta see how that groin holds up as he's getting older. He's overextending something.
Never mind.
More stamina drills, less pumping.
Right.
Gotta get his yogi in. Gotta get yogi in.
That nigga been yogi. He a yogi.
Wow, you gotta get to the advance. You gotta get to the leg stretch.
Nigga, you ain't no goddamn yogi. That's what we do know.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I don't see no Matt in that motherfucking Chicago locker room.
Hey, I am the. I'm lying.
Listen, Let me throw something out there because I got to piss real quick. I'll be right back. But Utah Jazz has now announced that they're willing to entertain possible trade scenarios for Donovan Mitchell, currently having him linked to the New York Knicks and the Miami Heat.
Who do he get?
Well, they haven't talked
I
about
mean, who
the
they
trade
giving up?
specifically.
Kyle Lowry?
I think the Heat have enough to get him, and I actually think that he fits more than KD would.
Be so.
I think so.
The right position.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you think KD, he would either have to move to the 4, or Butler would have to move to the 2.
To the 2. Yeah. You're right.
And either way, it would kind of throw a wrench in the game. Whereas if you bring Mitchell in, the only thing that I question is, do you keep Oladipo?
No, I would give Oladipo.
Up if you could have a Mitchell back.
If I can get a Mitchell, I'd give Lowry and Oladipo. Give them the all-stars they looking
And
for.
you know that's what I was about to say. That's exactly what they would be wanting.
And maybe we can hold one of them extra draft picks they trying to grab too.
What about Bam? You gonna give up Bam?
Nah,
No sir, no sir. You're not getting Jimmy or Bam.
Yeah, I wouldn't give up Bam. I wouldn't give up Hero.
No, I'm not giving Tyler. I talked about it last, Saturday.
Hero.
I'm not putting Hero on the market, and maybe that's the disconnect with the Nets trading KD right now. You know what I mean? Because you can't get Bam. The Nets might not want to get rid of Ben Simmons.
Right.
Hey, let me get Tyler up at you.
Right.
Ben Simmons is like a 3 of spades, nigga. Get this nigga up as soon as you can.
Man, but you don't know if that. No, he like a 2 of spades, and we don't know if spades are the 2's wild yet.
That's why I said 3 of spades. I wouldn't say.
Fuck.
Man, let's put in that work to get rid of Harden.
I'll be right back.
You can't just. I don't believe you can just get rid of Ben Simmons like that. You got to make him get on the floor.
He ain't played nothing. He ain't really worth nothing. So he play something.
Exactly. If I brought you over, you gonna get. I need to see you first. I ain't just gonna let you go without playing a game.
Well,
getting free money, bruh.
It's been some
playoff
games, regular season games.
You said you would?
Yep.
What?
He's a liability.
Yeah.
Cut him.
Yeah.
Cut this nigga.
But why get him though?
I don't know. But cut him.
I mean, it's not like
nigga.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get out of him. That's the thing. That's why you get him. You really don't know what you're going to get out of him. It's like you can get something really good, or you can get something really bad. But if I'm thinking long term, and I'm thinking like what's best for my team, I would be willing to get rid of him for something good, like a guaranteed good, so to speak.
Hence, that's why a trade with Miami won't work, because Bam and Ben can't play on the same team contract wise, and we don't want Ben down in Miami. So
heard about that. It's some type of rule.
I mean, if I'm Miami, I'm not getting rid of Bam because for Ben, because I need. If you guys get rid of Bam, where's your post presence?
Exactly.
Not Deadman.
No, not Deadman. I mean, we got Yurtseven on the rise, but Bam, we just paid Bam to be Bam. Why get rid of him? We love Bam. Bam loves us.
Y'all got the only thing that y'all squad really needs right now in Nikola Jovic.
Yeah, but and talking about summer league injuries, did you see he's dealing with injured quadriceps right now?
I did see that.
Yeah, him and Yurtseven, both of them are dealing with injuries right now.
No, I didn't know nothing about him.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not a Miami fan, but there are people who I would trade Bam for. Like there are people who I would bring in over Bam. I don't know. I feel like
Who's at the top of your list?
I need somebody. I need somebody a little bit more aggressive come playoff time. He just didn't show up.
Well, I don't think that was all his fault, though.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, I don't think that was all his fault. I think Bam's aggressive is not the ideal big man aggressive, and people misread it. But Bam is available at his scoring positions every play. He just doesn't always get looked at.
Fair enough, but you also have to look at it like this. He's expected to be the number 2 scorer, right?
I mean,
I would say so. If you're not looking for Tyler to be a 26, 27.
It's similar to saying that DeAndre Ayton should be the third in the Suns, and that doesn't always work out that way. He didn't always get his touches. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why that is, but nowadays that big man isn't getting looked at. It's the same reason Al Horford wasn't getting looked at in the finals.
It's a guards league right now.
Al Horford was getting his points, though.
Yeah, he was. He was because he was efficient. He was very efficient. Yeah, when he took that shot, he made that shot.
Bam was hit or miss to me. And that's where I feel like all I think about would be like my playoff run. When it's crunch time, that's what I'm thinking about. Regular season, great. But when it's crunch time, I need players that are going to show up. I need some type of consistency out of you, or some type of system in place to where it works out. And to me, Bam just did not produce like he was supposed to produce.
And I can get what you're saying. You're looking for that, damn it, Jimmy, give me the ball.
I don't see
it. You got to be aggressive.
I don't see a close second, though.
Huh?
Like, who else could you pick up that's available that's going to give you what Bam gives you?
No, I wasn't, when I made that statement, I wasn't basing it off of who was available. I would more so base it off of just if I could grab anybody. You know what I'm saying? There's players who I like their aggression a little bit more than Bam's.
Would you trade him for Ayton?
No.
No?
That's my answer.
I mean, Ayton will at least stretch the floor. I would be on the fence with that one.
Huh?
I mean, but when you look at it, in last year's playoffs, they both kind of displayed the same thing.
Somewhat, but I feel like Ayton has the ace in the hole. Ayton can...
He's a solid 5.
And he'll shoot from wherever.
Yeah.
Bam has to find his spots.
He has a better dribbling ability.
He definitely has a better dribbling ability than Ayton, but I might take that even. Yeah,
that's what I'm looking at. Them pros and cons are kind of even when you're talking about an Ayton and a Bam, even though they're two different guys in two different positions, so to speak. I'm looking at I'm looking at it. Bam had a solid 5 behind him, and you were able to, dedicate him to that 4 position, more playmaker, point forward kind of thing. When Jimmy's not handling it, when Cal's not handling it, so to speak, if we're talking last season,
you gotta work on your shot for that.
He has a good mid range. He did well from the
3. I need that 3 for you to do that. Because what you're saying is you're gonna then be bringing the ball up the court. So I need to know that you can stop at the top of the key and hit that if nobody's guarding that tight, and I don't trust him for that. I trust Ayton for that.
Okay, but hence why you draft a guy like Nikola Jovic. You don't need Bam to do it if you can run both of them on the floor together.
I feel like he's the future.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm looking at the moves we're making as a assistance to Bam right now. You know, it'd be nice if we can pick up a guy like KD in a trade that benefits us, but we still got to do work. Like the Nets. The Nets still got to do work. Trading the first rounder for Royce
Well, see,
O'Neal.
here's the thing: is we
You know
talked
what I
about
mean?
it at the beginning of the podcast, right? How the evolution of the point guard position alone has taken place. But when
Mhm.
you think about a 7'4" Wembanyama that's coming in at
Yeah,
center,
nice.
a
Yeah.
KD, a 7'4" Kevin Durant. At that point, you start to question, well, what does the center position then become? Like, because it seems to me that Denver was ahead of their time in getting Nikola Jokic, because he can bring the ball up, pass the ball, shoot the ball, rebound the ball. At some point, when you get into 7'5" skill players, now what does the league itself become?
I mean, that's the evolution of the game. You got to think about it. For a few years, the centers kind of got obsolete in the what was it? The what did Philly call it? Trust the process. When
Mm-hmm.
Embiid wasn't playing and they were sitting him and getting his health right and all that, it was a guards league. So you had these high schoolers and these junior high and these AAU guys, big 6'10" kids.
Right.
What they practicing, they dribbling, they practicing, they shooting, they ain't practicing backing down and getting crafty like Elijah
Right.
Wan was. You know what I mean?
All right.
So that's a testimony to the evolution of the game, and those bigger kids were able to see their athletic ability at work and were successful at it. So that's where you're seeing this uprising in these kids. So it's gonna be a problem. But I want to see you bang Embiid. I want to see you bang Jokic.
All right.
Because they gonna guard you out there when you try to shoot that thing. They ain't gonna lay back. They're not gonna Al Horford. That's another one.
Right.
We saw that in the playoffs. That boy, I'm gonna come out there with you.
He upset about Giannis dunking on him. He definitely coming out to get you if you
Exactly.
pumping on the 3-point line.
I don't know. I think it's all about your style of play. I like aggressive centers. I like the more dominant centers. I like the ones that put it all out there. So my opinion of, who I would put on my team personally is going to be a little different.
All right.
Like I'm not a fan, but Embiid is like the type of center that I would want.
He's the prototypical right now. And when you think about the fact that him and Jokic have been back and forth for the MVP for the past 2, maybe even 3 years,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it lets you know you need to start investing in a skill 5.
Not necessarily. I think it just depends on like who you got on your team. Like for example, if I'm the Heat, you might not like this, but I would, if I have any player I wanted down there, I'm going to replace Bam with Vucevic.
Okay, but that will work because he's a Heat type of player, so I understand that, and he's
I need
more
that fire. Yeah, I need that fire.
Yeah,
and I
From
feel like
Orlando to Miami.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Well, he came to Orlando.
I'm listening to
He was in Orlando, but he's in Chicago now.
Right. He ain't trying to give up Vucevic.
Nah, he not.
No, we got a team. We got people we can give up.
Yeah, y'all squatted. Y'all squatted, man. What you mean?
Y'all can't give up Vucevic.
We still in the playoff.
Not without Vucevic.
Hey, look,
No.
I appreciate his contribution. Right.
You're not in the
That's
playoffs
not
without him.
Daniel Tice. That's That's Nikola Vucevic.
You're not in the playoffs without him.
All right,
Yeah.
look, I wasn't even supposed to be talking. I was,
Why would
I was listening to the story. You know what I'm saying?
That nigga on laundry duty.
I'm over here. Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Did we tap on what John Morant said about Jordan? Did we talk about that?
Oh wow.
Nah, I ain't even hear about that.
How you not hear about that?
Wow.
Nah, what this nigga say about Jordan?
OMG, Clifford.
I didn't hear
He
nothing about
basically
that.
said, hold on, I wanna quote him here. Hold on. I just knew I figured y'all had already talked about it.
Hell no. I ain't even heard about it. But I can only imagine.
It's been a whole debate.
And I don't know if I'm mad at him. Well, I don't know what he said yet, but
Oh, he said he would cook Michael Jordan.
Cool.
And it's been a whole debate, been on First Take and everything.
Okay. John Moran said he would cook Michael Jordan. So here's my thing. So I'm breaking that down logistically, right? First question I have is, does John Morant have Allen Iverson handles?
Yes.
Close to. I will say close to.
Euro step helps, man.
I will say close to. And the fact that Allen Iverson broke Mike off, I'm not saying Mike's he's unbreak-offable. That's not what I'm saying. But the fact that Allen Iverson broke him off and Ja has similar handles, but a rise up the way he does, I think it's very fair to say he could. Don't know about would, but I would say it's very fair to say he could.
Honestly, I feel like he would. I feel like I would say he would cook Jordan. But let me
When we say
finish
cook him,
this.
do we mean like the whole game, or do we mean like plays?
I think he
Because
would have
Allen Iverson just got a play.
I think he would have a game or two where, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say they was same age roughly, you know, where they have multiple seasons that they're playing against each other. I think he would have multiple games where he would be able to cook them, where he would cook them, I should say. But at the end of the day, Jordan would cook him too.
Right.
And he would not be considered the better player. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ja wouldn't. Yeah.
So I'm not taking that from him. I think he would have games where he would roast Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jordan's been roasted. Every player in the NBA has been roasted at some point. So to say that somebody wouldn't would be asinine. But to make it seem like he would be the better player, or that he would, if he played in that time period, he would be Michael Jordan, so to speak.
Right.
I don't know. I don't agree with that.
I don't even know if he would be Allen Iverson. I don't even know if he would be Allen Iverson. I love Ja Morant. Ja Morant is something very impressive for the new school, and I appreciate the fact that everybody had their money on Zion, and Ja was like, wait, what? Appreciate all that. That I get all that. But there's no way Ja Morant is Allen Iverson built. It's not happening.
That speed though?
That speed. Now he got the vertical.
Yeah.
Any nigga with a 50-inch vertical,
How
he
big,
got that.
How big was it now? 50 foot, 50 inches?
Not 50 foot, but you know what I meant. Any nigga with a 50-inch vertical. Listen, Zion had 47 with his big ass.
Yeah.
I don't know what they feeding these new young niggas, but it's something crazy. But Allen Iverson was skilled beyond belief. Ja Morant didn't come out the way Allen Iverson came out ready.
Yeah.
That's factual.
Yeah, I will put Iverson's handles way above where Ja is. I mean, and we're talking about the 90s. The game has changed so much since then.
I bet
You look
Ja
at it.
would be the innovator, though. Like, if there was no Iverson, Ja would be the guy that would, change the shit up.
Now, I will say this. With the game on the line, you ain't cooking no Jordan. And that's
No.
where I'm taking it. That's
No.
where I'm taking it. With the game on the line, you ain't cooking Jordan. In the regular season, I get to you. I can see y'all trading 50 pieces, whatever it may be. But
Right.
game on the line, Jordan gonna lock up on some D now.
Game on the
He
line,
done-
though, who cooking AI?
Nobody.
Who cooking AI game on the line?
I don't see it.
Cooking.
That nigga got to the finals by himself.
By
Eric
himself,
Snow, Dan Pierre.
Eric Snow mad as hell somewhere. Y'all keep bringing.
I don't give a fuck. Eric Snow's not Robin.
It's not my fault, we lost, nigga.
It's not. Eric Snow is not Robin. Period.
Oh, Antonio.
No.
Yeah, Matumbo.
Monk's ass just walked back
Dumbo,
into
man.
a wave like a mermaid. He thought we ain't go. I saw
one
you
game-
look back
the one
at the
game won,
motherfucking
though.
camera with your fuck ass, nigga.
The one game won though.
But
Yeah,
yeah, nah,
that-
Ja ain't there yet.
Mm-mm.
I'm not saying he's not capable of being there. Not yet. Not there yet. Period. But I do give him P's because, like I said, he increased the things that I had the biggest faults with him on, and that was his shooting and his ball distribution, and he increased both of them. So I'm a fan. He
I
just ain't
give
no
him-
fucking AI.
I give Ja credit for elevating them young guys on Memphis last year. I give him all the credit, man.
Yeah.
Because when he was out of the lineup with injuries, they played the same way. They changed
Right.
nothing. Nobody got.
Well, they actually tried to use that against him because they tried to say that he wasn't as needed on his team because when he was out, they used that against him.
Nah, he brought them young boys together. That's the way I see it. I don't see it as
I agree with
they're
you.
better without Ja. No, I feel like Ja is that locker room presence.
No,
Ja
I
is-
agree with you.
They ain't behind the scenes with Ja. I think Ja putting in more work than what you see on the floor.
Right.
You know, I at his young age, even as a rookie, I felt like he was the leader.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he the captain. This is my ship.
But let me round it all the way back. So why can't that mean that a summer league may equal how good your team may do if you got a player as good as Ja?
It's all based on your program.
What you mean by that?
But then
So,
again,
oh yeah, you weren't on. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you
I was
off.
here.
there.
I caught
no,
a
go
little
ahead, go ahead.
Nah,
Go
but
ahead,
you
go
weren't on in the first question I asked was, do you think that there could ever be a situation where a summer league performance could equal how good that team will actually do in the season? And the whole reason behind me asking that was having like a hero type rookie on your team that could, push you. Because if the summer league was out when LeBron was there, that would definitely equal, you know what I'm saying? Because he brought that team to the playoffs that season. Didn't win it, but
I don't. I would say no, and the only reason I'm saying no is because the summer league is what freshmen and rookies.
Mhm.
yeah.
So
yeah.
to me, it's just not enough of your
Your
team.
veterans,
Make
nigga.
a-
Brandon Jennings will be in that bitch for some time.
You say what? Aaron?
And do they still allow him in there?
No, like a couple of years ago he was though. So
Right. You are
still
right.
was
He
still
was in there
doing
late.
4 or
But he was
5
coming back off an injury in
Yeah, but it's mostly freshmen and sophomore.
right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So to me, it's just not enough players on your team to really give a indicator of how your season is going to go.
Right.
Now you can up a team stock, like, okay, if they went 500 last year and you see they bringing in certain players, you can be like, okay, I know they
Weissman out the summer league.
Yeah, like you can up their stock, but I don't think it can be a complete indicator of how the season is going to go.
Right.
Yeah, because if James Wiseman plays the full season last year with Golden State, I don't see him being in summer league. I look at that more as rehab. I see that more as rehab for him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Summer league is a prospect all-star.
But I feel like we're in that hero era ball where we don't give a fuck about a team. We want an Anthony Edwards. We want somebody that's going to take the game over for their team. So if that's the case, then I just don't think I could say ever, because there are going to be players that are even better than what we imagine that come around. And why wouldn't they run through the summer league and then do a LeBron type performance to where they make the playoffs? That's enough in my eyes.
Come on, man. You got a player like that come around once every 25, 30 years.
You right. But listen, how long it's been since it's 04? 03, LeBron? We was in high school.
He graduated 03.
Right.
So
I was just gonna say that's where I'm looking at Paolo Banchero.
Nah, he ain't him.
I don't know.
Him, man.
I don't know. Hey,
he talking about that dude from Duke. He ain't him, man.
I'm still on him. I said he was going number
him.
1, and I'm still on him.
He averaged 25 and 5 in the 2 games that he played.
Yes.
The summer league.
Yes.
But
and
I do not know if he's him yet.
With what they're building,
him is LeBron. LeBron James.
Well, I mean, LeBron ain't no Michael Jordan. You got to create your own identity, and that's what LeBron did. He set himself aside from Jordan. He set himself aside from Jordan.
Oh, yeah, his number. But we knew we knew who he was coming in.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
But I mean, Jordan wasn't looked at as. I mean, he was looked at possibly being a great player coming out of North Carolina, but he wasn't looked at as.
Hell no, that was
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but that's
he
because
wasn't.
Of the time.
What was you about to say, Aaron? Was he?
No, he was not.
Looking out of high school, like we was watching LeBron James high school games
on ESPN.
On ESPN, yes.
But that's society. This is the fast-paced society that we live in that made LeBron James before he ever played a game. But
kill me.
We didn't have that back in the, that didn't exist when Jordan was coming up.
Right.
Jordan
but who was good enough even back then? Didn't nobody come around that was good enough? And that's what we have to tell the truth on. Don't matter how good Jordan became, nobody was good enough back then to ever make a ESPN debut.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Kobe, maybe.
The time. Oh, you mean after Jordan? I thought you were saying like.
Well, I'm saying before LeBron is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
It was only KD or Kobe. And if you want to keep it a buck, your boy.
But no, not coming in. Like Kobe wasn't.
Who was your boy? Robert Horry had a mean highlight reel.
Yeah, but that wasn't. Hold on now.
I'm not saying that he was up there with Kobe and all them, but if we talking about people coming out high school, you might gotta put him up there.
But you gotta understand that before, like LeBron really kind of was at the right time, because before then we couldn't see tapes. You couldn't hop online and see a tape of Kobe, even though he was not super amazing. He was more like on the Jordan path.
Right.
He was good, but it wasn't like he's gonna be that guy. He worked to be
Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett was one of them that got hyped up in high school. But again, I never seen footage of him until he went pro. You know, some people got lucky and got to catch games.
That was old though. That was fresh. Like KG.
That was 95.
What I'm getting at is he was the closest one, I would say, to a LeBron, to where because I feel like you still gotta drop Kobe back in there.
Man, listen, we just didn't have access to people like that. So even think about Kwame Brown, right? He came in straight out of high school, right? If we had more tape, more exposure to him, I'm sure he wouldn't have went where he went in the draft.
Right. No, I think he would have. I think he still would have went high, just as high as he did.
I don't think he would have. I think if Jordan had more access to him, really could see him play the way that we got to see LeBron play,
that's interesting.
I don't think they would have. I don't think he would have taken him.
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
I look at it as with a KD and even a Zion, they were in that post LeBron era where they had to go 1 year college. KD's freshman year, all you saw was Texas on the TV screen.
Well, listen, let's
know what I mean?
Let's keep it a buck though. If Zion had the opportunity to come out of high school, he would have been out of high school.
And I feel like he would have got that kind of
everybody wanted to
coverage.
see how good he really was, and I think he would have did the exact same thing he did in Duke, in the league, if you would have let him come in as an 18-year-old. That's half the reason why I think Adam Silver is we need that right now. Why are we not? It's been since 2005 since we've gotten a high school player coming to the league. And are we saying that in this era of basketball, which is more skill-based than physical, there aren't players that are ready at a high school level?
That's
not why they stopped it, though. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They stopped it for money.
I want to hear that.
The money.
No. They were. What was happening was there were players that were. Of course, there are a few that were ready to go to the NBA, but most weren't. So
I don't know.
But what was happening was they were skipping college, and once you declare for the NBA, you can't go back and play college, right?
Well, you can now. Now you can.
Well, at the time you couldn't.
Last year was the first year you could. Yeah.
So now you got all these players in these weird spots where they weren't getting drafted, but they declared. Now they can't go play. Now they can't play college ball, and they only took a few, or the ones that they did take were bust, and they needed.
That's on you as a player, you being overly confident in yourself. Because when you think about the past players that have came out of high school, Tracy McGrady, KG, LeBron James. You think of all these players are Hall of Famers. These are all Hall of Fame
But the
players.
thing about it is, it's still few and far between, because most of the players did some type of college ball. They didn't come straight out.
No, you're right, but I'm just saying, when you think of the ones that they did pick, all of them are Hall of Famers. They must have been picking right.
No, they're not all Hall of Famers.
Not all, but recent picks.
See, here's the thing. You named a few, that declared for the draft and turned out great, but there are a lot more that did not. And a lot of times, and then consider the ones that declare for the draft that still, like even Kobe would fall into this category. He could have did a year in college. You know what I'm saying? Like he did not come into the NBA balling.
No, he didn't. Eddie Jones beat him out for his spot.
So he could have did a year or two in college and then hit the NBA. So they were seeing this, and I mean, you got to take
and
it.
then
Money.
think about what Eddie Jones did after that. Got traded to the Heat, and you never heard from him ever again.
He didn't win the chip. He didn't win the chip with them.
I think he didn't.
Well, no, okay. Well,
I think he might have.
No, that was 2003 though.
No, I think he might have won the chip with them.
In 06?
Yeah, when Wade came.
Oh, yeah, it was 06.
Because he got traded again after that.
It was Wade and Shaq.
Eddie Jones got traded again after that from Miami. Can't
He
remember
might have
where
been
he went.
because I we had Jason Williams on that team.
Right.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
You had Alonzo Mourning. Y'all had,
Mhm.
Lonzo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got that ring.
He snuck one in there.
Was it the Nets? Back when they was New Jersey?
Jason Williams was on that team too.
Yeah, Jason Williams was on that team.
I feel like, because I feel like Eddie Jones got traded from Miami. Can't remember.
Well, I'm a Heat fan. He was just.
But after this, everybody hit the showers in their minds.
Let me see.
I'm not gonna give it to Steve Nash again.
Well, you remember I had Donovan Mitchell last week or Saturday.
For you hit the showers?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
What the hell is Utah doing?
I said Donovan need to get out of there.
Why did you put Donovan Mitchell up there?
Because I would have asked out. They clearly rebuilding.
Well, he has since remember. Yeah, I do remember because we had the same conversation.
Yeah.
He has asked
like,
out. They traded away
like,
Gobert and Royce O'Neal. He's like, I don't trust y'all anymore.
Yeah, he had that talk early on. What was it? Early in the season where he wanted out. He didn't want to play with Rudy, yada yada yada.
He gonna be the next Damian Lillard.
But I mean, now you're trading away. You not only got rid of Rudy, but you getting rid of pieces and collecting draft picks. Like you're in a full rebuild.
They gave him like what 4 or 5 players and like 4 or 5 draft picks.
Yeah. So why would I want to be there? I'm in the prime of my career right now.
Right.
I need to be winning.
And then the whole thing about that is you're out of 4 years that you've been in the league, you're a 3-time All-Star.
Yes.
You don't want to have to adjust to new players coming in every year because they don't have strong vets to play with you. You got to play with new guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fucked up situation to be in when you're a 3 out of 4 year All-Star.
Yeah. And as I thought, Eddie Jones wasn't on that squad. And
yeah, I was going to say, I looked it up. He was not.
What?
Mm-hmm. We had Antonio. We had.
You probably mistaken him for Gary Payton.
Yeah.
No.
Gary Payton wasn't on that squad, was he?
He was.
Yes, he was. We had James Posey.
Oh well, y'all wrong. Y'all wrong for Yeah, I remember James. Y'all wrong for allowing Gary Payton without what's his name?
I think Alonzo Mourning was on there.
Alonzo Mourning was.
Yeah, we
with
already
Shaq.
tapped into all that, but
Michael Doliak. Oh, but
I do remember who that is. I could have swore Eddie. So where Eddie Jones go? Did he go to the Nets?
I think he went to the Suns. You go to the Suns?
That's what I need to know. Redeem my self.
We go to Grand Hill route.
But Who's our hit the showers? Bang. Let me see.
Dallas.
No, he went to Dallas.
Dallas 2-year deal.
He went to
And then-
Dallas. And then
Got traded.
Memphis.
Get
Wait,
your money, Eddie. Get your
Miami
money.
to Memphis, then to Dallas. Damn, Eddie. No
Yeah,
rings
he-
for you.
He got move.
No rings for you. Kobe had a hand in that.
Yeah.
Kobe
Oh, they
said-
must have traded. They must have traded him mid-season.
Who? Heat?
04 to 05.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at it as Eddie Jones being a free agent and signing a 2-year deal with Dallas.
But it says he was with them. Hold on.
Damn,
Because
Eddie.
it says 06, 07. Oh no, 05, 06 was when y'all got y'all's ring, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he was with Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed like they gave him like 06, like they gave him like a little, like he might got like a participatory, like what's a participatory?
Participate.
You got something in it.
Oh,
He said he got something to it.
hey, he was the piece that had to go so we can cross that hump.
I mean, clearly, but that was my nigga, though. I fuck with Eddie Jones.
Why?
I think they
Why?
said
Why? Because if I'm being honest, then this is exactly why. And I'm gonna tell the truth. Because I didn't like the Lakers to fucking begin with, and my dad was a Lakers fan, and he was all big on Kobe. So when Eddie Jones beat him out for the starting spot, that was my spot to like laugh in my pop's face, like you know what I'm saying, like.
Oh, your dad was big on Kobe before he was
Yeah,
Kobe.
my dad knew about Kobe back when. That's all. But yeah, I fucked with. That was my small chance, small window to give him shit.
Yeah.
But
Mommy's
damn, my
about to do
nigga ain't. At the end of the day, no rings, no nothing. Who
And
getting
he a
the
Florida-
showers?
and he a
Except for
Florida
those
boy.
millions.
He a Florida boy too. That's
Listen,
bad.
I ain't getting nothing from him.
Pompano, nigga.
Pompano.
Pompano, nigga.
hey. I'm Mr. 305 right here.
I
Pompano.
understand. I'm in the out of town pronunciation. You from Pompano?
But like I said, my hit the showers, I'm not gonna give to Steve Nash again. I'm gonna give it to Damian Lillard.
Lily?
Yeah, man.
Because he extended his contract?
Beyond that, he said he's already won his title. And I'm assuming he means from the Olympics. But he said he's already won his title. His championship is staying loyal to Portland. And my whole thing is I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? I definitely love loyalty, but what has Portland done for you
They
to
paid
be?
him.
I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough.
They paid him. They treat him how he wants to be treated. He's comfortable, and that's all some players want.
Well, hit the showers regardless. Hit them.
That is all some players want.
Excuse me. Who up?
Man, I don't got no shower. I'm trying to think of something.
Y'all Chicago Bulls need to hit the motherfucking showers because y'all ain't made no moves.
That's not
Other than homie with the singles in the headband.
Look, we out here making consistent moves, smart decisions, and plans for the future. You know what I'm saying? The big three. So,
Times is hot in Chicago.
I don't know, man.
I got one.
I really don't know, man.
What you got, Q, man?
Now I gotta be dramatic. No.
Nah, you just
My hit this showers go to Adam fucking Silver.
what?
What
Why
Adam
y'all trying to do my nigga like that?
Nah, because did y'all see him talking to the media yesterday?
Uh-uh.
And he gonna talk about the players and the organization. It need to be a two-way street, and players shouldn't be asking for the trade demands. They should be, fulfilling their contracts.
Well, that's his fault.
Nah, but wait a minute. How
from
long
a
this been
business
happening? This been happening for a while though. Now you won't say something.
It's a little out of hand.
That's why I said that's his fault.
Like,
that's his
Yeah,
fault.
but you let it become a jungle. When David Stern had certain things in place already.
Right.
We saw that with the AD situation, how everybody got riled up because he said openly on TV he wanted to go to the Lakers.
Nah, fuck that. When Chris Paul wanted to come to the Lakers when Kobe was still there.
That too, and they cut that out the bit, and that was the only thing they did. Okay, and then what happened with AD? Right after that.
AD just be getting hurt though.
But he got to the Lakers where he said he was gonna go. That's why I got my hit the shots for Adam Silver. Because when you made the move, and Cliff, I'm glad you brought that up, to block Chris Paul from getting over to the Lakers, that next off season, y'all should have been in the office.
Kobe wasn't gonna win with Chris Paul anyway.
Wait, did Adam Silver block him or did Stern block him?
Stern blocked him.
It was Stern. It my bad. It was Stern.
It was Stern.
So what I'm saying is Adam Silver hasn't done anything to do anything about it. So why now you want to come up and try to get all both? Like, you might as well just let it continue to be a players' league, and if they ask for a trade demand and the organization is with it, as long as they get something in return, just let it ride. You getting the viewership out of it.
Right.
Let it be fun. It's different from what the NFL's doing.
Right.
You think so?
No,
I
definitely
feel like the
different.
players are being whiny in the sense of like wanting their trades and wanting to get out. So I mean, I feel like this. What is the point of signing these contracts if you're not fully committed to it? Like that's the whole point of a contract.
Yeah.
You're committing to
You sound like
XYZ.
you sound like an owner right now.
I agree. But
I mean, I'm thinking like an owner because I'm not a player, so I have to think like an owner.
But contracts are reciprocated as well. There are things in the contract, you know what I'm saying, that let you know what they're trying to do.
What are you trying to say?
Just like you said, you wouldn't want to go to a Sacramento because Sacramento's contract probably ain't gonna have too much. Like,
then I'm not signing that contract, though.
Right. But that's what I'm getting at the end of the day is that you understand the situation that you're signing on to.
Right.
It's not like you're caught by surprise once your pen leaves that paper. You knew what team you was signing with beforehand. What they were probably trying to do was in that contract that you signed if you're that good of a player for that organization. So at that point, that's on you. If you signed that's on you.
Exactly. So why let it get out of hand with these open trade demands?
Because if I'm good enough, why wouldn't I flex my muscle? And if my muscle is to get out, I want out. I'm flexing it. I want out. So I'm flexing my muscle.
Because you're allowed to flex.
Like as the owners, you can still flex your muscle and be like, no. And I really think that's what it's going to come down to. Like,
it has to.
Again, I don't think KD is going to end up anywhere except for in New Jersey. Just because
Brooklyn.
Whatever, wherever they are. Right. But you know what I'm saying? Like they got to flex their muscle too. So, but what I was going to say to you, what do you feel like Adam Silver should do in that particular case? Not let the news get out that a player wants a trade to the media, or what do you feel like he's letting get out of hand?
Well, I mean,
how should stop it, I should say.
I mean, that kind of goes back to the NFL concept. Players are disgruntled and openly about it in the media all the time. But guess what? They ain't getting moved. Because you can't.
They've been trying.
They've been trying, you're right. But they can't. In the NBA, it just seems like, oh, I'm KD. Oh, I'm perfect example. LeBron, you'll never hear it. You'll never hear it. He probably won it out of Cleveland before he went to the finals just because of the way things were going. You know what I mean? As far as an organization wise. But he didn't. He fulfilled his contract and moved on as a free agent like he should have. But now we got these young guys, like you said, they're whiny. The NBA has let them become whiny because once they become whiny, they just get what they want. And then they get more money too. You know what I mean? So we need to work on some some clauses in the contract to whereas, okay, you're disgruntled. All right. But guess what? You got to fulfill this in this contract, whether it's, a certain amount of games a season, or you must fulfill 70% of your contract before anything is, something. There has to be something. Right. I know I was in the military. Okay. Unless it was something damaging to you that affected your career in the military, you were sold up for those 4 years, 3 years, right. 5 years, whatever you signed for, as well as the bonus money. That also adds additional years that people don't even know about. You know what I mean? But guess what? You can't get out because you took that money. Right. So now you're going to do your 4 years plus that 12-month, 24-month extension as well. So you not trying to get in the military mindset, but as far as clauses in the contract,
right,
to protect that organization, to protect that owner that's investing his money, you have to have. Yeah, I'm not saying be an asshole and say, hey, you must fulfill 100% of this contract because then we can't trade you.
All right.
But there has to be something said as my star player. I'm not talking about a role player. As my star player that I gave the big bucks to, and they guaranteeing what Jokic just got. He damn near guaranteed over $300 million if you add it all together. But if you add it with what he already has, you know what I mean?
Right.
Now, what if Jokic come to you at the end of next season when they get bounced out the playoffs? Because I don't think
can't afford you, bro. Diane, keep it moving. We can't afford you.
But who's gonna take on that? I mean, he's a great, awesome player.
It's players that
I'm just saying. But now you're forced into a rebuild as an organization when you're playing for this guy to be here the next 4 or 5 years. You're building it around him. That's your centerpiece. You know what I mean? Maybe you ain't doing right as an organization, but give them the opportunity to make it right. They done paid you your money. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Harsher contracts in a sense. That's what you want.
Yeah. I mean,
more penalties if you don't fulfill your contract. Like, all right, well,
it ain't
his money back.
It's not even a penalty. It's saying you must do this to get this.
All right.
I'm not gonna penalize you for wanting to go. You fulfill this. You fulfill this. You get what we promised. You know what I mean?
Say, cuz?
No, I hear what you're saying. That's it. So you're not gonna get penalized. What happens if you don't do it then?
Right.
That's where they got to sit down. CBA coming up.
Oh,
It's
that's
gonna be
why
tough. It's gonna be tough.
I keep bringing that up, man.
God damn. Well, did we do all the hit the showers?
Nope.
No.
I respectfully decline. I respect for
But nigga, you finna hit him then. You hitting the motherfucking showers.
Shit.
God damn.
He probably in the shower.
Listen.
Oh, nah, he just
Mock,
popped up.
he a Laker fan and they ain't finna turn it around and I don't know how long, so we ain't even gonna keep busting on his bitch ass. But to all the people out there, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, troll the comments, do whatever you feel. We'll catch y'all next time. Be good or be good at it.
Yeah.